Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Guess where we are? Guess who we're with? It's another episode of Witches Naked, Hexensnackt, and perhaps the finale of our mini Warhammer horror campaign. Hello, players.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, madness. So, as a quick recap for last session, you should go and watch the last session. Other than that, we're going to crack on with this one. Gentlemen, we start off today with our inconsequential minigame. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. An eager dwarf to go first. Could you please click on the mutate mental 3 times for me? Okay. Which one of those do you feel would most characterize the direction that your character may be headed in?
Let's see. I'm thinking...
Beast within. Does he have an inner beast? Ignore the mechanics for now. Just focus on the words, because
I'm thinking the hateful impulses concerning the animosity towards other species. I'd say just dwarves and maybe Cal at this point, due to the alliance last
bitter
time. Right now,
and spiteful. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he's kind of putting humans in the category that he once put elves in.
I like it.
Just dwarves, basically.
Okay. I like that. Hateful impulses. It's not a condition you have, because it's the inconsequential minigame. But do feel free to let it taint your roleplay if you wish, but do not feel you need to be governed by it, because you do not have the condition yet. Should we do an elf next?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring up that fresh for you. Mutate mental, please. 3 times. And unlike Dagmar, this is almost certainly your next mental condition. Profane urgency. Beast within. Well, you have suspicious mind already. Would you like to re-roll that one for me, please?
Yeah, sure.
One more. Chaotic dreams. Oh! Ignore the condition. Ignore the mechanics. This is, let's say, a roleplay prompt.
Okay.
For now.
I would say, given the roleplay prompt, I will say, I'm just looking at this. Beast within. I think he has. He is quite a. I think there's a lot of anger inside him.
Yeah.
A lot of resentment that's really, really deep-seated. The more he spent with men, or at least in the world of men. I think this is finally beginning to make it show. So he might be given to such internal impulses.
You might just go crazy.
Yep.
Knock a candle
Mr.
over.
Hyde.
Do whatever
Mr.
elves
Hyde.
do when they go crazy. We'll find out
Kick a tree.
quite soon, I'm sure. Okay, and a Bretonian to go. Profane urgency, unholy rage, and awful cravings. Well, you can re-roll the last one, because you can re-roll it again. Or if you get it a 3rd time, okay. Which of those 3?
What is profane urgency?
That's a good question. I think it would
profane
be...
has to do with the worldly things, right?
I would assume it is extreme fight or flight. I would assume it's a little bit of a... Just looking at the stats as well, it's a little bit on edge. Perhaps quick to act as well, but that's more initiative than agility. So I would say maybe fight or flight and a little bit more physically minded.
No, I mean he's passed his school checks. Sort of. Well, yeah, the last one he passed.
Yeah.
The other one's unholy rage. Could be. It would be a drunken rage, and drunkenness is certainly unholy. So. Fearful concern. That's a bit uncharacteristic, I think. It would come out of the blue too much,
Okay.
I feel.
So perhaps an unholy rage that is boiling within him.
Yeah, somewhere.
Something that may get let out, but...
There is a reason he's here, so it hasn't really come up yet, but...
Well, gentlemen, we start off this session with Gaspard. You had been left while the others had all gone upstairs. I believe you had a bottle in your hand last time I checked. Sheriff was laying down in the corner of the room looking at you. What did you do to end your evening?
Just thinking about what we did. So he said he was going to professionally empty the bottle, right? Something
Yes.
like that?
Yes, yes, yes.
He will probably be doing that, and in the meantime, maybe he's found a piece of wood and he's just carving.
Okay.
Probably maybe he's a bit superstitious and carving a bust of Shelia or something, or a holy symbol of Shelia.
Okay. While you're doing so, there is a drip, rather annoying drip on the table in front of you coming from upstairs. Perhaps the roof is leaking, but there is a rhythmical tap on your table that's somewhat irritating. One of the droplets even lands right between your eyes.
What is this? Yeah. Rubs his face. Looks at his hand.
Looks like water. As you look at it, though, your vision goes blurry for a moment. It takes a couple of seconds to refocus. It does, and you are stood in the bedroom upstairs, facing the bookshelf, placing a book on the shelf. It is marked on the spine by a black raven. Any queries?
What is this? Did I get here? Did I drink that much? What?
Just as soon as you manage to ask yourself a question, I'll give you a split second for an action if you wish.
Well, since you point out the book, that is something he notices, so he takes it.
Okay. You reach up to it, your hand touches it, and you wake. Back downstairs. Only this time, there is something disturbing you. There is sounds from upstairs, there is shouting, there's a commotion, but furthermore, waking with you is Sheriff. He stands, looking at you, begins growling and pawing at the floor for a moment before he slides toward the door, somewhat surreptitiously, and begins to paw at it. Meanwhile, of course, you can hear the shouting from upstairs, but Sheriff is pawing and beating upon the door, looking to you with that expression that only a dog can give of, I would rather be out there. Perhaps.
What do you want, doggy? You want to go out? Okay. Now my head. Let me get the dog for you. No, there.
You see him intermittently sniffing, and the moment the door is open, before you can even open it 6 inches, he barges it open and just storms outside into the cold. You see him starting to circle around. There is a gust of wind, however. It is still freezing out there.
Close the door, quickly.
Meanwhile, the shouting upstairs intensifies. Gentlemen, we now go to the master bedroom. Gaspard, I will allow you to join us momentarily. I will assume.
What is that noise? Oh, hey!
Meanwhile, Meanwhile. We load a scene. A scene where Calendril and Dagmord have been interrupted by someone bursting in through the door, Hellman himself, holding a rapier in his left hand but handing it to Judy as he enters the room, having almost kicked it down. And on his way has exclaimed that the children are missing. That is you refreshed. Calendril, Dagmord, the man looks furious, his face is a bright red, his fists tightly clenched. You can even see prominent veins on his brow as he is looking at the two of you. I will ask you all, what are you doing? We shall make our choices. Calendril, you've recently acquired perhaps a heightened sense for danger. You suspect this man is, perhaps the word is frenzied, hard to reason with, and there's that sinking feeling in your stomach, having been around humans for long enough, that you are about to be blamed for something you did not do.
Right. So, at this outburst, Calendril will, straighten up from the bed, and he will at first put his hands up, kind of like it's startled, but then after hearing what Hellman has to say, Calendril, eyes twitching, puts his hands down, looks at Dagmord, before looking back at Hellman.
I will interject that you likely do not have time to spark a conversation. You will need to act quickly as Hellman is walking towards the two of you. So,
right, okay.
Yeah, a brief gesture of the hands to signal peace.
Yes. What children? I don't know. Well, I do know. It's your bloody ghost who visits my dreams. He gave me 2 cards. I had no choice. These are the cards, and I'll take them out and throw them on the floor. This is not my doing. It is this man with a plank on his chest.
I will have to
But I
pause you.
swear.
Dagmord, you have maybe 3 seconds at most.
Yes, once he's said this, I will add, he ain't lying. I've been watching him this whole time. I plan on staying up the night and making sure nothing got in here to get us.
Meanwhile, and confirming your suspicions, Calendril, the man does seem like, for now, he cannot be reasoned with, as he is moving toward you, and does appear that he is going to at least attempt to connect a fist with your temple. Calendril, what will you be doing in response to this action?
I will try to block him.
Okay.
Try to basically, palm the fist away.
Okay. I would keep in mind for all combat, and this is not to tell you how to play, but as a refresher of the rules, but you can oppose melee with almost anything. Gamble, charm, you can really use whatever creativity you wish. But, of course, trying to block a fist coming towards you is a very respectable and reasonable aim.
Yeah.
So,
Calendril is shocked, so opposed melee.
I will say the fist comes swiftly from by his side, swinging straight for your head. And you can make a roll to oppose.
Melee basic?
That's the one. Unless you have brawling, but...
No, and is it, what was it, challenging or average?
Challenging. All combat will be challenging.
Oh, fab.
Just to make it easier. A very good block by yourself as he swings by toward your temple, and as he does, witches are full of lies. One of you has her inside of you. Seemingly fumbling his words, confused.
I look at Dagmord and I look at, what's her name, Judith, or that?
She's by the door.
What are you talking about, human? What are you talking about? Who's inside us?
I will beat her out of you. Stay out of this, dwarf. Dwarf, you have an action to do whatever you wish with.
Okay, yeah, say madness has taken hold of him, and I would like to. I don't know if you can do this as an action. I was wanting to maybe charge and tackle him.
Go for grapple.
Okay.
Go right ahead. Roll me a melee of some sorts. Okay. Could be a melee basic. Not technically, it should be melee actually, or melee brawling, but either or. Let's just roll dice.
Yeah, I've only got melee and melee two-handed.
Melee it is. Let's go.
All right.
It's too small to charge, no bonuses. You might get a +20 for outnumbering him, though, because you do.
Okay.
So a clean sideswipe on him.
So would that be an average then?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
A decent tackle. He attempts to parry your blow, but you do manage to lock arms with him. You are now considered to be engaged in a grapple with him. How have you grappled this man as he is attempting to swing at your elf?
I would say I'd probably he's at the bed, at the edge of the bed, or
yes.
Oh, I know. Since I'm so short, I'd say I've grabbed his fake leg and I'm basically pulling it, trying to pull him to the ground by it, because that's his weakness.
Okay.
He told me where it was.
You have a hold of the leg. I will say right now you have not toppled him, but you have a clean hold of his leg and are effectively restraining him. Judith, inside all of this, is sort of arms outreached in the expression of a woman that clearly does not participate in such violence, and she looks distressed. She had, of course, been asking him not to go through with whatever he is trying to do. We now return to Calendril. And Yoris, you will be, Monsieur Francais, you will be joining us at the end of this round.
Oui.
Right. Calendril then, seeing him pinned down by the dwarf, he feels, at the word of being beaten, I suppose something is switched on, or switched off, his sense of reason. And he looks at him, staring at him, his eyes dark, and he takes out his short spear that's beneath his coat. And as Dagmor's restraining him, he grabs him by the cuff of his collar and puts the short spear above his neck. Listen here, you pathetic shaven ape. I have nothing to do with the disappearance of your children. Are you the one human who is cursed with the rarest variety of stupidity? I have nothing, we have nothing to do with your disappearance of your children. Do you hear?
Intimidate?
Yes, please.
Please. You outnumber him. I'll give you a +20, so you could make that an average roll.
Intimidate.
It'll be in your skills. Scroll down on the left-hand side.
Yep, got it. Oh, Jesus.
You still have a spear to his throat, no matter how bad the roll is. He meets your stare. You dare draw a weapon on me. And in response, yes, while being dragged to the floor by a dwarf, is going to attempt to disarm you.
Okay.
Can we have an opposed melee roll, please? No. Seemingly put off by a dwarf pulling at his leg, he reaches for the spear. You can tell what he's trying to do. Take it from your hands and return it to yourself. Hopefully not through your throat, and fails to do so. Dagmord, you have a hold of the man's leg, right around the thigh.
Okay. Yeah, if possible, I'd like to pull him to the ground to make him prone. Try to end this.
Make me a strength roll, please.
Okay. And I have strong back. I don't know if that applies.
That should apply automatically.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
strength?
Yes, make your strength for me, please.
and outnumbering plus 20?
Yes.
Okay.
He falters. You pull him to the ground.
Get off of him.
Judith leaves right as another individual walks in. Gaspard, you walk into the room with Hellman on the ground, mounted by a dwarf, and with Calendril stood there, spear in hand, looking down at him.
Nom de Dieu, nom de Dieu! Putain de merde! What is all this noise? Can't a man just pass out in peace? What the hell? What is going on here? What are you doing?
You don't know about this, Gaspard?
Know about what?
I look to Calendril.
Yeah. Calendril's heavily breathing and then looks at you with rather small, like kind of constrained pupils at this point as he looks up at you. He thinks that someone is inside me, a woman of any sort. He was about to beat me to a pulp, and we have shown him that he is the weaker one here, aren't you? And Calendril's about to go in to kick him in the stomach, but then restrains himself just in the last minute, quenching his rage.
What is this talk of witchery?
Calendril gaining his getting rid of the insanity that overtook him. He will basically go over to the floor, get the 2 cards, and will hand them to Gaspard. The man with the plank on his torso visits my dream once again. Gave me a choice, another choice I could not get out of. And I show him it's a man and a woman. Am I correct? It's a man and a woman.
It is indeed. I must interject here. Dagmord.
Yes.
You have Hellman pinned for now.
Mm-hmm.
You have a hefty weight to you. Despite being short in stature, you make up for it in circumference. But something grabs your leg. You do not see what. There is nothing there. But something grabs your leg. And we shall roll a dice.
Are Hellman's arms where I can see them? So
Yes.
I know it's not his arms?
He's
Oh,
underneath
dear.
you. He doesn't have hands available.
Oh dear. Alright, what do I roll?
Dagmord? Caught off guard, you are dragged maybe only a few inches, but it is enough to put you off of your guard and allow Hellman an opportunity to wriggle free. As for what that was, Sigmar only knows.
What in the, who there? Y'all see that? Something grabbed my leg.
Seeing an opportunity, as you're exclaiming that, a fist comes for you. We have started again. Dagmar, prepare to be punched. The hard, broad knuckle of a witch hunter with a hidden roll, which isn't particularly useful for you, but effectively he got 0 SL. So can you make me an opposed test, please?
Yes, melee challenging?
Yes, please.
Alright.
Okay. It's going to be a fairly firm hit on your right arm. It's really only going to scratch off a couple of wounds, but is at least going to allow this gentleman to right himself from you. With only one leg, mind, he's not going to be jumping up from the floor, but he manages to connect a clean hit and looks like he's going to throw another. Gaspard, Calendril. The quicker of the two. A fight breaks out again.
Yeah, at this point, Calendril and was kind of facing Gaspard. At this point, I was about to and showed him the 2 cards, and at that moment, as he was just about to explain, he's probably heard the kerfuffle that's gone on behind him, and he'll look down, and he basically says something in Elven, curses in Elven, to try and restrain Hellman. And he'll say, "Come, Gaspard, quickly."
He has
You know-
clearly gone mad.
Exactly. Come help us. If you're on our side, Omge.
He doesn't hear that, but he just wants to punch Helman in the head.
Okay. Punch him in the head, please. Plus 40 is
Yep.
engaged with many people.
We're beating a disabled man.
And
Yes.
he's trying to
Well, he
to
is a
knock him out.
racist.
You know, not kill him, but just he's a
Sure.
he's an enraged man.
I will not inflict a critical wound.
He's been in bar brawls and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Okay. A reasonable hit. He is on the floor, so I'll give him a harder roll to defend. Well, and I don't think you saw the roll again because I still have it as hidden, but you connect a clean blow with the side of his jaw, and I would say probably a decent number of his wounds, given the circumstances, are removed. The man is, for a second, looking like he may have seen a little bit of sense. However, has Gaspard
Snap out of it, cousin.
ever seen a beastman?
Probably not.
If you've heard tales of them, imagine this is what a beastman would be acting like. The pure animalistic ferocity as he writhes around on the floor. Having been struck in the temple, you would have at least expected him to be knocked out, and you can hear Judith coming down the corridor, presumably returning. Calentral? Gaspard's attempt to knock the gentleman out. What are you doing?
I shall just look at him in scorn and look at him. He's gone rabid and mad, like a wild beast. Takes out a short spear. We should put him out of his misery. What say you?
Stay your spear, you nincompoop elf. Just
Well,
help
that-
us.
With that tongue, I might as well just take his own. And I will kneel down, and I shall put my short spear to his neck.
Dagmod?
Yes. Is he still struggling?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to keep hold of him, and if possible, try to remove or pull the leg free if I can.
Make me a strength roll, please. Plus 40.
You say plus 40. Okay.
Plus 40. He's been punched in the side of the head. Calendral's poking a spear. Admittedly not into him, but not far from him. Well, despite the fact that you put on quite a show trying to do so, you do manage to subdue him. Entering the room behind you is Judith. She has that same expression on her face, only she has something slightly different in her hands. She holds onto two pistols, both pointed in your directions, gentlemen, her hands shaking like an autumn leaf.
No, ma'am, be careful with those.
You're gonna hit your husband.
There is a clitter-clatter of the metal vibrating in her hand. You wonder if the shot might even fall out. But she alternates between pointing it at you, Gaspard, Dagmord. One stays firmly on the gentleman with the spear in his hand. Don't move.
Don't do anything stupid.
You're not going to harm him. You're going to let him up.
Of course we are. Just soon as he stops being crazy and attacking us.
Right. There's that pouch over there. Looks at Gaspard. Get that pouch.
There. What is it?
There's a poultice in it.
Ah, I see. Is it for him?
Nods her head. Still shaking. pistols twitching.
Where do I put it?
Put it in his mouth. Be quicker.
Okay, he takes a great swab of the whatever stuff it is, smells it for a bit, ugh. And then grabs Hellman by the forehead and tilts his head backwards, and like he's smothering him, just squashes sausage in his face, in his mouth, force feeding him. Here you go.
With that being done, the storm still brewing outside. She attempts to at least remain steady. I'm going to ask her to make a very easy dexterity roll. Nay, easy. This is for her left hand. All is well. Calendril. All is well. But you do see the finger on the trigger twitch a little bit. Her hands are more steady with a needle, not a pistol. Hellman gradually seems to calm.
At that, Calendril will remove his short spear from his neck. Slowly.
I will continue to hold him for a second, and I will ask, Hellman, you got your senses about you again, you damn umge?
Somebody let in. It's breathing very laboured, like a man that's just woken up from a drunken stupor. Somebody let in the witch.
I'll wait a moment, and I'll move off of him to give him room to get up, since he doesn't seem to be out of his wits again. Well, as I was saying, if you're listening, it weren't us. I've been standing here watching over the Elgie, making sure, trying to last till morning. Just staying in this room. I ain't seen nothing. And speaking of which, and at that moment, actually, I dropped down onto all fours and flattened my face to the floor, looking to the side, under the bed. Do I see anything under the bed?
Nothing.
So never mind. I get back up.
Somebody let someone in. I look at Gaspard accusingly. I wonder, in all the world, who that could be.
Well, don't look at me, you Faye. You know very damn well it is your kin that always steal the babies.
Our kin?
Yes,
You
when our
dare to
backs are
insult me?
turned.
Filthy ape! You dare to insult me! We all saw you let that dog in for the sake of the dog, and then this other ape, Hellman, agrees with you, and yet you blame us. You blame us for your own folly.
That's what I seen too. You do all sorts of things.
Well, Dagmar, you should know that in my country, it is the Fae who steal the babies from the crib, even when the mother is just fed the baby and put it in the crib and then turns away. She hears the baby crying, and then the crying stops. She turns around, and the baby is gone.
Well, he is from your country, and as I said, he has been under my personal watch this whole time.
And he is Fae. Do you not remember the War of the Beard you so often mentioned before?
Gentlemen, a gunshot interrupts you. A discharge of black powder and a large, thunderous crack. Everyone make a cool test, please. At least to prevent being startled. You may not flee in fear, but your heart may skip a few beats.
Is it challenging?
Always challenging.
Cal
Okay.
jumps out the window.
I'm just gone.
Definitely a
I'm
jump,
left.
Calandril. There is a loud crack, and of course it is from Judy, although she has her hand pointed up in the air. The other one still elbow now down by her side instead of arm outreached, but in your general direction. The children are missing. Perhaps if we could find them, I won't have to shoot one of you.
Yes, that is exactly what we were trying to reason with your beloved husband. But as I was saying, and I give out the 2 cards, it's this man who visits me in my dreams, of which your husband knows very well, if not more, about. If you have any clues about how we can track this man down, or your children for that matter, it would greatly help us.
Children are missing?
Apparently. I don't see how, though. Door's still barricaded, ain't it?
Are you all fools? You're bickering here with each other and the children are missing? You idiots! He stamps out and goes to wherever their room is.
What a tongue he has, Calentral whispers to Dagboard.
Indeed, I say, looking back at Calrentil. Before I look to Judy and say, did you check under all the beds, check all the cabinets, all the cupboards? The door's barricaded. How could they have gotten out?
The door was... Just sort of shakes her head back and forth, seemingly stumped. Hellman's trying to stand up at this point, sort of crawling up on the bed, righting himself eventually, and hobbling back over to Judith.
I'm going over and getting my coat and putting it on. So, well, children are missing. Come on, Calrentil. Let's get ready.
So put my short spear back under my coat, and I shall ruffle back my hair because it's been a bit all over the place from the scuffle, and I shall walk alongside Dagmort.
I'll start heading out of the room. I'll wait at the door for Hellman if he isn't already there.
Hellman is at the door with Judith, and by this point has taken the other gun from her delicately. Very delicately. However, he has it in his hand. Not pointed at you, though.
Okay.
Not quite. But he is holding it as if he could. He looks at you, Dagmord, as you approach him.
Mm-hmm.
You stay.
Why?
Because we did not let him in. We did not let her in. And I do not trust you. So, we will go.
You think it was me?
I do not know which of you, and though I would like to beat every living piece of blood out of all 3 of you to find her, I do not have the time.
Fine, I say. And as soon as he is not looking to have a moment to mutter to Calrentil, since he's the last one going to be leaving the room, do I have such a moment?
Yes. Yes, you do.
I'll kind of whisper, say, Calrentil, if and you head by the barn, fetch me the axe out there. Might need it.
Calentral will nod, not say anything, but you'll simply nod. In this smallest fashion possible.
Yep. That's all I've got to say.
Okay, holding his head, Hellman walks down the corridor. Like a man that's been struck, he stretches his jaw, but doesn't seem particularly fazed by it. Judith, following, grabs a small satchel along with his rapier, and the 2 of them head to leave. Do not leave. Stay here, and once I find them, we will have a talk.
Yeah, I cross my arms, watching him as he's on his way out, and I remark, fine, I heard you the first time. I will stay here, make sure nothing gets in.
They leave.
I stay.
Gentlemen, you hear the door slam. I will say that Judith does sort of poke her head in to the bedroom as Gaspard is looking around. I assumed you left to look around, Gaspard. Is that correct? Yeah, she pokes her head in just as sort of an acknowledging nod of, or a shake of the head rather, as to no, they're not here. Didn't think so.
I go back to the other ones.
Gentlemen, you are alone in your bedroom.
What sad, unfortunate business this is.
I'm just muttering to myself, looking at the ground.
What is troubling you, Dagmar?
We're under, well, we call this a house arrest, I think you call it. This don't make no damn sense. We should be out there looking for them children.
I agree. But I do not blame them. I mean, we show up here and strange things happen, eh? So, naturellement, they suspect us.
Doubt we're beyond suspicion. We'd never do nothing like that.
Oh, maybe, but do not forget that it is the Fae over there, the elf, who led us astray. He's saying this in, you know, as in a low voice.
I then ask him, the Fae, the Elgi? He said that you're the one who pointed at the map and said to head this way.
What, are you daft? We hired him to lead us. He is the scout. And do you not remember in the woods where he ran away? He said he was afraid, or maybe it was an act. I don't know. But he left me alone in the woods too.
You think he ain't a coward?
I think he is an elf. He is comfortable in the woods, you know? Why is he afraid? I mean, like I said, I do not trust the Fae. They are the baby stealers where I come from.
I ain't
So
considered that, but I do got to ask you one thing, sir. You're related to this family, and we just so happen to find it. What are the odds of that?
Well, I have wondered that myself. And it might be that the witch, she has discombobulated my memories, and she snatched it from me. And maybe it is a witchcraft that, you know, they are not related at all. I mean, I did see an old friend in the woods, and so did you.
I did see an old friend, an old drinking buddy.
As far as I'm concerned, I do not want to trust anything that goes on here.
I tend to agree, sir.
I mean, the children, I don't know, maybe maybe they are children, maybe they are demons in disguise. But
Demons?
I don't know.
I only read of them in books. Is that something that can happen?
Naturellement, anything can happen.
Damn it all.
I'm just saying, we should not trust anything that goes on here.
I start pacing just a little bit, still remaining close to Gaspard. I'm looking a little bit impatient. What were we supposed to do? Just sit on our damn hands in here? There's children out there need finding. Hellman ain't being clear with us on everything. We don't know nothing's going on.
Did you discover what is in the other room?
We did. It's I reckon, and I raised my voice to it, looking over at Calvin Till. I reckon it was a witch, don't you?
I'm sorry to break the immersion. I thought I was with. Did I not go with Hellman?
Oh,
No.
my apologies. Okay.
No, I did not.
He insisted none of the three of you go with him.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
But he
I
does
was on
not
the same
trust
page at first,
any
yeah.
of you. He believes that any single one of you could be the traitor, but he will deal with that later. He has gone off to
well,
find his children.
In that instance, then, Calvin, whilst has been talking, he has not really been listening at all. He has been simply just sat, just talking in Elven, kind of to himself, but like some kind of poetry to himself for his resolve, as it were.
I said, Calrentil, weren't it some sort of witch in that room down the hall that got locked up?
Something. Definitely not a guest, which is what Hellman would have us believe.
Can I have an average entertain from you, Killer, until just before we continue? Just to see if you're able to steady yourself enough to calm yourself with this poetry. That is a please try again later.
Yeah, I'm. So in that case, obviously, I'm just trying to believe that the poetry's working, but my leg is like constantly bouncing, as it were, like agitated.
Glorious. Apologies, as you were.
Look at him, Dagmar. Look at him, Dagmar, fidgeting.
Yeah, he's like I said, if it's true that he's well, a bit of a coward, then it makes sense, you know. I didn't say it's in a bit of a hushed tone. I'm not wanting to openly say it.
But I'm not fidgeting.
Right. You seem to have nerves of steel, though, boy. Maybe it's all alcohol you're drinking.
Perhaps. But there is some truth in what you say about the strange man with the wooden plank. He gave me a unnerving vision as well, and I have not seen him since.
What is wrong with the two of you? I say, throwing my hands up in the air. Why are you dealing with some damn Ungi that's using magics and fortune telling?
Yeah, they say fortune read on the Hexensnackt is bound to be true, so.
All I can say is not my choice. That's all I can say.
You say it came to you in your dreams twice now, is that right?
Oh yes, it's like a bloody appointment.
A curse, even. It's a cursed night.
Indeed.
Did you also what was it? I saw a book with a bird. How you say a bird?
What's a beard?
Craw craw, a bird. You know?
Oh, a bird.
Yeah, that's what I say, a bird.
I can't say I'm too familiar with all that many birds being from a Garrick.
But Mr. I cannot bother with your name. Mr. Elf.
Doesn't look back. It doesn't respond.
Kyle Rentil. Did you see anything about a book with a bird?
Not I. Although there was a book that perked my interest, Dagmord. That book that the human woman took. Did that have a bird on it?
Did it? I remember seeing it said witches. Did it say anything else on it, Hydra?
Say one more time, apologies.
Yeah. The book had. I know it said witches on it. Did it have a picture of a bird anywhere on it, or anything else? Other markings?
No, it did not.
Nope. Just said witches on it. No birds.
There's no sense just sitting here. I mean... Where...
You're right. You're right. Calentro just shakes his head like almost out of a trance now. We'll not sit here meekly by and wait for the snows to bury us here. Dagmod, you said that there's a barn full of weapons. I can get you that axe. I can go. I feel like the recent events have made me rather quicker on my feet. I can go over there, get the weapons you need, so we can be at least better armed if danger comes.
Well, can you do that without causing a ruckus?
I can.
Well, I reckon if the Umge don't know that we done it, then I don't see no harm in it. We'll be prepared if he comes for our heads.
do be careful if you go outside, because the doggy is... well, he's outside again.
Oh, yes. Well, no worries. I'm sure I can outrun him. But, well, yes, Dagmod, I can get you your axe. Gaspard, if there is anything you want to arm yourself, I can get that for you too.
I don't know.
Any kind of supplies, I dare say, would be helpful.
I'm good. I'll just take a piece of firewood. Yeah, I can use that as a club if need be.
Very well.
And Gaspard, might I ask, you were downstairs. Were any of the windows open that you saw, or was the doors? Was it still barricaded?
No, everything was fine. I mean, I woke because of a strange dream. There was the book with the beard, but then there was the loud noises from upstairs. So I don't know. The doggy wanted to go out, and maybe he wanted to go pee-pee. So I opened the door for him. It was still cold and windy, so I closed the door quickly.
Gaspard, this ain't our home. At this point, just let the damn dog piss in the corner.
Oh, he seemed fairly intent on going through the door, so...
I just kind of facepalm for a second and shake my head.
Well, I'll leave you two to have your very intelligent conversation. I shall go and fetch us some weapons so we may survive the rest of this night. And with that, I shall walk out. And just as before I do, it'd be better if some of you could keep watch over the balcony, just to see if anything should happen to me. At least you'll know who done it.
Of course, and
Yeah.
Don't you get yourself killed out there. I do still need that guide to get me where I'm going.
I assure you, that is still on the contract. And I shall basically walk away with a deadpan face and go downstairs to go outside.
Are you sure it is wise to, let him go alone?
Not particularly, but I am a Dowie, and we sure ain't got anything resembling sneaking skills. Now, if you think that you can handle it, then go right ahead, but...
No, I mean, shouldn't we keep an eye on him? I mean, he's an elf, and, can we trust him? This is what I mean.
Oh, I see. Right. I thought you meant for his well-being. Well, I'm keeping sleeping with one eye open, as they say. Everybody around these parts. A damn woman just came around with 2 pistols, so I ain't particularly trusting this evening.
Well, let's see what we can find here, huh?
I reckon we could give this place a good look around. Maybe just make sure that Judy don't spot us looking around. She's likely to tell her husband what we've been up to in his absence.
Be quiet then.
Right.
Dagmord and Gaspard, you are perusing, I assume, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
And Calentril, you are taking a
Going
walk?
outside. Yeah, well, I'm going
Okay.
outside to go to the barn to get some weapons. I
Dagmord,
think one for each.
your recollection was there was just an axe. So
that was
for
all I recalled.
Dagmord's specific instructions is that there was a block of wood by the side of the barn with an axe embedded in it, clearly a log splitter. That was the only weapon you recall seeing, Dagmord. But you are able to give, thanks to your natural one, impeccable directions. We will go first to Calentril, who takes a small walk. Stepping outside, there is a...
I said that Calentrill's definitely not walking at this point. He's definitely going to be
Good.
jogging.
Good.
Jogging out there. That middle-class white man jog over the zebra crossing. That's what he's doing.
Good. Because as you leave the building, a second later you are greeted with that very same whispering you'd heard before. And you recall nearly being lost. Nearly.
All right. Well, I'll still go towards the barn.
I will ask you first for a cool test.
I break down. Just in the snow, start rocking back and forth.
Yes.
Oh my God, I
Though
fail every
you
no.
are technically the sneakiest, you are also the most susceptible to what lies outside.
Yeah. So I'll say that I went out for a jog the first few paces, and then after that, it really weighs down on me. And I begin just more like a slow, hesitant walk, as it were.
As you do, Calentril, headed to this warehouse. You see the log in front of you, and out in the distance, you see a friend. A black, charred friend. From within the tree line, but you make out the outline of this figure, clearly watching you.
Oh. Does this cool have an influence on my actions that I'll make?
Yes, you're not particularly cool right now.
Not cool, right. Okay, so that's Calentril basically grits his teeth. And then looks back at the house, thinking more or less of Dagwood and Gaspard, because like it or not, they are in the same pot, despite his paranoia. And he will, he shall rush into the barn and grab the. Did you say that the witch is in the woods or in the barn?
The witch is on the periphery. The stump is to the rear of the barn. And there enough is an axe head, and you approach. As you do, you see a log that it has been split. No, wait. It's not a log. It's a corpse.
Oh.
That of a child.
Oh.
A beheaded corpse.
Oh.
Another cool test for me, please.
That's not me role-playing, by the way. I'm terrified. Jesus. I'm actually getting goosebumps. Oh, thank God.
Okay. For a second, your instinct is to run. But you question what you were seeing for a moment, having been misled by former friends. You look again, blink. There's a log that's been split.
Oh, I shall basically be saying stuff in Elven. Basically, Kurnos, guide my ways. Lilith, give me the light. I'll say, Cain, give me the courage. All these Elven deities I repeat in my tongue as I reach for the axe and heft it.
It is heavy.
I shall
You're not that weak.
I shall take it. out of the log. And he will just sprint out the barn.
Okay.
Flee. He's going to flee out the barn.
Okay. You were behind the barn, for reference.
Oh.
The log splitting was done out back. Just thus you could see the tree line. Just to make sense.
My bad.
Yes. So, meanwhile, Gaspard and a dwarf are rummaging. Do tell me.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to. Is there any room that overlooks the barn, or that would have a window that would have a view of the barn, so I could like take a peek out every now and again? Since we did say we'd try to look out for Calvin Till while we're searching.
Yes, master bedroom.
Okay, if Judy is Judy in it?
No, she went with Hellman.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, I'll head on in there then and take a look out the window first things first. Do I see anything of note?
No, all quiet,
Okay.
dark, foggy,
All right.
misty, save for a handprint on the window.
Does the handprint look like it's on the inside or the outside?
It did. You can't see it now.
Oh. Okay.
Could have been a handprint. You thought?
I look
Make an intelligence roll, please.
Okay.
Just as you second guess yourself.
Mm-hmm. Is it, you say challenging?
Average for a change.
Okay.
Pretty sure you saw a handprint. But it's definitely not there now. Maybe it's the
Well, that's
lighting.
different. I look over at the candlelight in the room and just kind of shake my head and shrug. And I go ahead and I would like to just search the room anywhere that's not readily apparent. So anything under the bed, anything in cupboards.
I will draw your attention momentarily as you were at the window of there being salt missing. The rest of the windows all have a line, a thick line, perhaps an inch wide, a half-inch thick, small trail of salt from left to right.
I narrow my eyes looking at that and just mutter, well, damn 'em, guess. Could have been Hellman or Judy herself. I just say to myself before I step away from the window and search the rest of the room like I was saying a second ago, like I intended.
What was that you said?
Oh, is Gaspard in the room with me?
He's
He's
poking
been
around.
following you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. Apparently, so first things first, there was a handprint on the window, or at least I think there was, and then there weren't. Could be these old eyes playing tricks on me, but one thing I am sure of, and I say, pointing at the windowsill where the salt is clearly, the line's been broken, and point to him, look.
Sacre bleu.
Which one you think done it? Hellman or Judith?
We must use our little grey cells, Dagmar.
Gray cells?
Yes, the thing in your skull. It is a brain. And
Right.
the doctors have they say it is grey. So
You
But,
say so.
let us take a moment to consider what we have learned so far. There was a witch in the wood, and the child, she gone missing. Then we find the child, chop off her leg, and we burnt the leg.
Of course.
Maybe
Coming alive.
with the burning, the witch still was inside, or maybe the witch was still in the child. We do not know. So that is one unknown. But you yourself noticed that, I think you remarked it, that Monsieur Helmond, he also misses a foot, huh?
I did. It was a bit of a disadvantage I used against him. I take it there's a connection there. Hydra, did he, while I was still there, did he tell me last time that he was a kid who had his cut off from being taken? I think he did.
It was implied.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, I get what you're saying. I reckon he may have been taken as a youth and something similar happened to him.
Yeah, so maybe the taint of the witch is still on him.
After all these years, didn't he say it's been 20 years?
Yes, and well, there is some other matters, and at the moment, my honor it forbids me to speak of it. But yes,
Your honor, where is life or death, boy?
it is details you do not need to know right now. It doesn't change the matter. I mean, the man is tainted. Surely you know that. So, indeed, what did he say specifically when he entered the room?
What do you mean?
When he entered the room, all angry, what did he say?
Oh, he said one of us removed the baubles, I guess like this salt. Like I said, I was watching Elgie the whole time, and I know you don't know me too well and all that, but I can't imagine that you would genuinely believe I'd have any way of sneaking all the way into that room, remove salt, and sneaking back out again.
I've seen you trying to sneak off to take a dump in the night, trying to be quiet, and it is impossible for you. So I know that. And
Right.
so logically, it is not you. It is not the elves. You. And it is not me. I was downstairs, asleep. Well, according to me. So I know it is not me. Then it must either be the children themselves, or indeed it must be Hellman. And since it is here in the master bedroom that these bubbles are, yeah, all points to Hellman.
Hydra, how tall are these windows off the floor? Are they high enough that the kids would be able to reach them?
Yep.
Okay.
Be a
So
bit of
we
a stretch
got,
for a bauble, but the salt,
sweet.
yeah.
So we got us 4 suspects then. Assuming I can trust you, but just for speaking hypothetically, let's say I do. Then we got 4 suspects.
At least 4, and then there's the missing fortune teller, and then there's the supposed witch. You have Bart in the other room. And all the while he's saying this, he's trying to... Is there any salt left?
A little bit.
Yeah, he's trying to form a line as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of searching the room, talking over my shoulder while I'm checking. Yeah.
There is a bookshelf. One thing that
Are there any...
strikes your fancy is a black leather-bound book with a picture of the crow on the side of it. One that Gaspard had attempted to describe, at least.
Gaspard, you mentioned having a dream about a bird or a book with a bird on it, right?
Yeah, a bird.
Take a look at this, I say, raising one arm and pointing up at the book on the shelf.
Oh, Dieu.
There it is, right where you put it.
He makes the sign of Shalia.
You ever seen it before?
No.
No, not in your dream. Like, did you know it was in here before you came in here? Before your dream, even? Have you seen it before?
No, I had only in my dream. But in my dream there was also a dripping.
Dripping?
He looks to the floor. There's like wet spots or something.
Like
And
water.
nothing in this room seems to be leak-free.
Do we hear a drip somewhere?
Difficult perception, please.
He says drip. I'll do it too. 'Cause he did
Assuming
say
you're just
dripping.
stood here having a listen. There's
Yeah.
wind outside. There's There's plenty of sound to distract.
Difficult.
I'm sure I can. I'm sure this dwarf can pass difficult perception.
I have faith. There you go. Easy.
Jesus.
Yes. You do hear a faint drip. Drip.
I turn my head in that direction. Where's it coming from?
Downstairs.
You said a dripping, right?
Yeah.
I hear something. You can either come with or keep looking. Maybe grab that book. And
I'm not touching that book. No, you take it. I mean,
I'll. Is it low enough to the ground that I can get the book?
You can reach the book.
Okay. I'll reach and pull the book off the shelf. Do I need to roll anything to touch it?
No. You pull the book off the shelf. Behind it is a black candle.
Oh. What's that? I asked, pointing at the candle.
oh mon Dieu. I think it is how you say a ritual, like a candle they use in unholy sacrament and stuff like that. It's witchcraft. Only candles, black candles I know is witchcraft.
I look at Gaspard a bit suspiciously. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There is one thing about the book that immediately strikes you as curious, Dagmod. There's a bookmark. It looks a bit like a card.
A mark that looks like a card?
There is a bookmark.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll reach in and I will pull the card bookmark out.
You'll pull the bookmark out. Fantastic.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm a dwarf.
You retrieve a card. It is a card of a man, a shorter man, and a taller man. All stood side by side.
I look at this for like 1 second, and at first my expression is just casually dismissive, and then as I think about it for about 2 seconds, my eyes widen and I drop the card on the floor face up and take a couple of steps away from it.
Gaspard looks at this at the probably audible gasp.
Mm-hmm.
That card.
It was in a book. It was somewhere kind of in the middle here. I
What?
saw it poking out.
Open the book.
I opened the book.
Where was the card?
I don't know. Is there any kind of a crease or anything where the bookmark used to be? Or
Fortunately for you, there is. There is, with the book closed, 2 of the pages sort of are separate. You can see the indentation, the thickness of the card, having bent the paper very slightly.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Calendril walks in, and Calendril, you're alive. You're alive, but we will have to roll corruption for you. So.
Oh yeah, because those feel so well, don't they?
Well,
God.
I'm an elf. I want to go outside. That's all I'm saying.
Oh jeez. All right.
Yeah. Don't blame
so
the messenger. I'm just trying to look for the trait.
Just click corruption.
Just one of those for me, please.
Sorry.
A cool, please, if you will. Could be a pass. It is a pass.
Aye.
Good news is you only took 1 instead of 2.
So I've got 6 out of 6.
You've got 5 out of 6. What could possibly go wrong?
I already had that.
You're on. Oh no! In case you stay on 5 out of 6, my mistake. Okay, You are unfazed by your trip outside. You have in your hand a 2-handed log splitter, and Dagmord has in his hands a book.
All right. Calendril is, even though unfazed, he will kind of hastily get in, like slam the door shut. She's out there. I saw her. The burnt figure. Are there any more weapons in this house? We must arm ourselves quickly.
I turn my head and I look to Calvin and my expression is just kind of one of kind of a forlorn kind of concern. I point down at the floor at the card, kind of hope, kind of draining from my eyes.
What is it?
It's a card.
Regardez.
Look at it.
I shall walk over and it's on the floor. I shall twist my head down to look at it.
There is a...
Stagger back. That's... We've been set from the start. This is all some game.
It was in this book, I say, holding up the Raven book. I've got my finger wedged in a little nook where the bookmark was. It was just right here in this spot, I say, opening to the page it was at.
What does it say?
I shall before that I shall basically, as Dagmor's there, I shall make sure he knows that I brought the axe. And
I look. Yeah, I look, and for the first time I noticed the axe. I should have noticed it sooner, but I've just so caught up in the card that I'm just now noticing. And for just a split second, I actually my face looks kind of like a kid on Christmas when I see that axe. But before the gravity of the situation returns to me, and I give a solemn nod and say, "Good work, Countertail." And I give him a nod and reach out and I take the axe.
All right, and I shall basically sit here to either side. So because Dagmor's the one that got the book, so
I'll say standing, and yeah, so we can all see it. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll open to the page so we can all take a look.
Inside. Now, I believe you are the only person that can read here, Dagmord.
Yes.
So we're going to have a little story time.
Ooh.
Is it in Dwarvish? Is it in Dwarvish?
No, it's in human, but unless you have the talent read and write.
I don't. Sorry, no, my bad.
Unfortunately, it is a rarity within this world, because even with an elven education, why would you bother learning how to read and write things down when you can just talk to each other, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Dagmord. The first page, just a few words and some hand scribbles underneath. The Book of More is the book's title. At the bottom of the page, in very squiggly handwriting, a gift for Halman Dittmar and whoever else may find it.
Okay. Says the Book of More. Says a gift for Hellman.
Yes, that's all very good, but what have we got to do with it? Why have people drawn us as a bookmark?
That's a good question. Do I see anything on the pages that have anything to do with us or with Hexensnackt or anything?
Well, for Calentral and Gaspard, one thing does strike you as imminently apparent. It's the same type of card, the same style of card, the same shape, the same colour, the same appearance of card as your dear fortune teller's card. Should the connection not be obvious.
Yes, Calentral would probably notice that.
Very
Since he
much
cannot
so.
read, he'll basically ruffle through his coat and he will produce the cards and pass them over to Dagmord and Gaspard.
I'll hold the two cards together to compare them. I assume they look basically identical except for the picture.
Indeed. Dagmord, the page you were looking at is a page of rituals. Prayers to more. Rituals to more. I will share with you on my screen as we take a perhaps 6 or 7 minute bio what is said on or within the Book of the Raven. Gentlemen, I will see you in a few, and viewers, do not fret, I will leave it on this screen and show you what is said. We shall return. We're going to jump back in chat for a moment. We're just waiting for Calendril, but we thought we'd maybe muse out loud about what is in front of us right here. And also you get some neat background music. Speech of Moore, huh? Moore's a fickle god.
That he is.
All gods are fickle. There's the spoiler.
Yeah.
So are elves. True story. Well, he passed a test.
He did.
Yep.
He passed a test. Didn't get any corruption. That was a moderate corruption too. No joke. No joke. So... I feel like he's actually not in this scene. No, he is. He returned, so we do have to wait for him. I was like, we can continue without the elf. No, we should probably wait for him. So, any thoughts, Mr. Matt or Gaspard?
Well, as soon as he hears it's about more, Gaspard will relax a little bit, so he knows it's not witchcraft. It's not a witch. And the Black Candles makes a little bit sense. I don't know if he's ever seen more stuff. I mean, Britonia, they have the same gods, but it's more about Shalia.
So Black Candles I'd say, are more of an oddity, and naturally one would be suspicious of it.
Yeah, it's not mentioned in the book either.
Ritual page blah blah. Please turn to page blah blah to see ritual in action. In which case we can say now that all of the rituals contain a black candle.
Oh, okay.
So there is effectively I'll give you a summary. Calendril's back, I believe.
Welcome.
Hello. Yep. Back.
Right, we were just having a little bit of a musing. We are unmuted and live. So, gentlemen, in front of you, I will assume for now that Dagmar has read out some of this at least.
Yeah, I've read it all aloud to them so they can hear it.
So it is a book of more. That is good. Leech is not as witches, huh?
One quick amendment. I would not have read the Latin part that looks like the incantation aloud.
Indeed, that is seemingly the incantation.
Yes.
So, I understand. The remainder of the book, it's probably maybe 200 pages thick. Quite a weighty book, considering the diameter of a page. And it's about half full. The second half seems to be some sort of diary. Personal journal. And there are entries by a priest of Moor.
Do any of them talk about what's happening on this night? Or not this night, but this type of night?
I think Calendril actually on that one would probably have made a comment on the second, the guiding dream.
Mm-hmm.
And he will say, well, to me, from what you've just told me, Dagmar, it sounds like somebody has been possessing my dreams.
I was actually about to muse the same thing, Calendril. For all we know, Hellman may have been taking a little stroll through your dreams, and who's to say that he's himself in your dreams even? Maybe he's the fortune teller in them.
How can we be certain that this is not a dream right now?
I look very confused and part my lips for a second, eyes going wide.
I just look at Gaspard and just say, if only. And then just go back to looking at the book, which I can't read.
Right. We've got to operate on the assumption that this is happening to all of us, or I might rightly lose my damn mind. So, that little musing aside, we got guide and dream, so somebody may have been hopping into Calendril's dreams and messing with us. And this card being here, what do y'all make of that? You think that Hellman saw our coming before we ever got here? Maybe he took a card from the fortune teller before we ever got here?
I do not know. But I would like to know where this, what the story is with this fortune teller. And,
Well, you did speak to him, I believe. We all saw him with his pathetic plank of wood on his body. But perhaps he is not gone. Perhaps he's still here somewhere. In the house.
Gaspar takes a step back and looks around like he's behind him.
I'll look under the bed again.
Dagmar. Previously, you had paid particular attention to the dripping.
Yes.
You now question whether it's a drip. Or a man tapping a board with his finger.
Yeah, as that thought enters my mind, because you know I do hear the sound, and with Calentel mentioning the board, I'll say, y'all give me just a second. I gotta check this noise out. Gaspar, you see her dripping. I want to see what it is. I'm gonna walk in that direction. I'm gonna head downstairs. I'll take the book with me. I'll motion for others to follow me. There's nothing keeping us here.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. You follow. You follow, you follow, you follow.
And do we take the candles, by the way?
You can if you want. I'm not touching it.
Yeah, let me
No, I'm not touching it. No.
They're probably not going to go anywhere, right?
Some Hogwarts stuff, then. I'm not touching that.
True, true. Sure enough, downstairs, Dagmar leading the charge, book in hand. You have a guest. He has a sign around his neck still. Only this time, Dagmar, it is written in Kazalid. Fortunes. 3 pennies.
I squint at him and I say, "What do you want, Umgi?"
Do we see him, by the way?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Sorry, what did he say?
I was asking if we see him as well.
Oh yes. Did he reply to me when I asked him what he wanted, Hydra?
He taps his sign.
I sigh and shake my head before I take a step closer, and I reach into my coin purse and say, "I reckon it's my turn, ain't it?"
Blanchel has his hand buried in his coat, gripping the haft of his short spear, but he does not really respond to Dagmar. He just looks vehemently at this strange man.
I will pull 3 brass pennies from my coin purse, and I will offer them to the man.
Be careful, Dagmar. And, Warlock. One false move, and we will got you.
Y'all heard him, no damn witchcraft, Umgi.
I'm gonna go to the other. If Gaspar's going to the right side of where Dagmar will be sitting, I'm gonna go to the left side, like flanking almost.
Sure. Prepare a grapple attack. Dagmar, you take a seat. He motions down to the candle. You've seen this procedure done before. What do your dwarven instincts feel about this?
I'm just kind of curling my lip at it. I've got a look of disgust on my face and mistrust. What am I supposed to do here, Umgi?
Puts his head close down to the candle and motions for you to mimic him.
I groan and I look to the others before I look at him, and I lean forward as well.
With a flick of his hands, he flips his cape over the 2 of you and leaves you with a good 5 to 10 seconds of just breathing quietly before a candle lights illuminating just enough of your 2 noses, yours somewhat more prominent than his, And he smiles.
The Night of the Naked Witch. 4, maybe 3 witch hunters shall appear in Kislev. The name of one is violence, the others blindfoldness. The first has falsely beheld me, the second still fear me. The first may go to the destruction of his other. The second shall be governed by false senses.
The me you're saying in that little rhyme, is the me, is that you? Or somebody else?
Questions? You should ask more.
Looks down at the table.
When he's...
Yeah?
Oh, sorry. When he says that, I think, having looked at the book, when you say more, you mean more as in additional, or more as in the god?
He smiles a crooked smile and continues to look downwards.
Tricky Umgi.
I say, look before I look down, following where his eyes lead.
There is a man and there is a woman.
Will you pick a card?
What's it mean if I do? What happens to the one I pick?
He smiles and does not respond.
What if I refuse to pick?
His eyebrows raise, the two of them.
Damn stinks of witchcraft. I got half a mind not to pick a damn one unless you give me a reason to. I'm stepping away from this, Umgi.
He just pauses.
I will begin to lean back and withdraw, and if he doesn't stop me, I will stand from the table.
Questions? You should ask more.
He blows the candle as you go to lean back. Calendral. Gaspard. Every candle in the room, including the fire, distinguishes instantly, as if a hurricane had just hit.
I stagger and knock over the chair that I was sitting in.
What's going on?
Witchcraft. Witchcraft! I take my sword spear out.
Yeah, I take hold of my two-handed axe that Calentil so gracefully gifted me.
Sure. It is
Gaspard,
dark.
a weapon.
Arm yourselves.
What happened? Where is he? What?
Kind of damn wizard.
I shall basically put my back to behind to like, basically like in a trio as it were. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll move
do
close
that.
to the others.
Okay. 10
And,
seconds later, the lights start to light, but Gaspard, what are you doing?
Well, he was startled and looking around, and then finally his wits got to him again, and he grabbed to where he suspects the dude is, but I'm assuming he's not.
You go
there
to grab him on the chair and fall off balance. Can you make me an average athletics, please, just to remain upright? As you know exactly where he should be, and you go to reach, hands go straight through. As there is nothing there. As you do, the candle flickers again, as if he were still leaning over it. The fire, too, illuminates. And in the distance, disturbing your inquisitive pause, is a gunshot. Loud, thunderous gunshots coming from the woods.
It's Hellman. Hellman.
Damn it. What
I'm
do we
growing
do?
to resent this Hellman and his tricks and games. I tell you this, I turn around. He's behind this all. Yes, yes, he is behind this all.
Are you blind? Did you not see the man just disappear in front of us?
I think this is Hellman's game. I think they're in on it together.
You think the witch hunter's working with some sort of a damn witch?
I wouldn't be surprised when I have been told this prophecy. He talks of a first hunter or of some kind. It is to my mind that every time he talks of this hunter, I am somewhat reminded of Hellman. The arrogance, the violence. And yet the other witch hunters are never mentioned. Only one stands out. Only one that he always has beheld me.
Gotta wonder what happened to the other three.
Well, he does say that their senses befell them, or something of that nature. Perhaps he became aggressive, violent upon them too. Perhaps he himself is cursed, and now he is transferring that curse to all of us.
Damn.
What did he say to you, Dagmar? What was his profession?
Do we have a Prophecy 3 available, Hydra?
Sure. Make an average intelligence roll for me, please.
Okay.
It's actually Prophecy 2 within the journals section.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
made a few amendments.
I've been told both
Nope.
prophecies, I believe.
Derp.
You are certainly familiar with some differences, Calendril.
Yep, so I will relay them to Gaspard.
Calendril, make me an average intelligence roll, please.
Certainly.
This is for you to notice.
It's gonna be like a terrible game of like Chinese whispers.
Yeah.
Cathayan Whispers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually noticed a slight typo. Bear with me while the first. Okay. Done. Right. Okay. Previously, there was 4. Now there is 4, maybe 3 witch hunters. The name of one was Violence. The tense has changed. The other's Blindfulness. Last time it was Regretfulness. And the first time it was Fearfulness. The first has falsely beheld me, remains a constant. Second shall fear me, remains a constant. The first may lead to the destruction of others, was what you heard, but the first may lead to the destruction of his other, is new.
Yeah. So Calendril, with his intelligence, he shall relay that to Gaspard and to Dagmord, and thus all the way like nodding like a mad, somebody in a conspiratorial manner would, like it's all making sense,
You're grasping this, Calvin-Till? Don't make a lick of sense to me.
I don't know. I don't trust him anymore. There's something going on here, and from the way that his mate, or whatever they call them here, treated the whole scenario, this is not the first time it's happened.
So, one thing you did mention when you pointed out them differences, Calvin-Till, you said it was the name of one is, wasn't it? The tense changed from is to was violence.
Precisely.
So, about the time this happens, about the time we heard that gunshot, you don't think, Hellman, well,
I look kind of knowingly to the others.
Perhaps he shot himself, you suggest? Hmm?
Oh, hopefully.
Didn't Judy have his guns?
No, we took them back.
Okay, all right.
But perhaps this other. What is this other?
The way it's worded with other, I think it's either another witch hunter or his wife.
Or perhaps it is, like I said, possession.
Precisely.
There's
Yes.
spirits coming into him. I mean, you described how he came in, and I could see that when he was attacking me, he was not really himself. So
Indeed, but there's something else. If we go back to when when you were all taking the girl out of the dirt, I saw the burnt witch. I saw her, and I exclaimed that she was there. Yet Hellman did not act surprised. He did not even flinch. Instead, he just carried on, leaving me to spit my curses at the witch the whole time, protecting us all. It is to my knowledge that he and this witch know each other a lot more than he's confessing to her.
He does seem awfully comfortable for a Umge with so little armaments out on this night.
Precisely.
yes,
So
they do seem to know each other more. Yes, right.
So what with that shot we just heard, I reckon we have two options at this point. We either go out there and see what's what, or we do as the as the Umge told us, and we just stay put.
We do not stay here alone. We're not alone in this house, as you will know. Looking to you, Dagmar and Gaspard, and pointing a finger upstairs.
Drip. Drip.
Right.
On the table next to you. The
I look
tapping
in the
continues.
Is it
Do I
raining
s-
outside?
Do we see water hitting the table?
Yes, you do, from the ceiling above.
And where in the house is that geographically or whatever? What room is that coming from?
Have a guess, Dagmar.
I'm gonna guess the room with the crazy lady.
Your favourite place.
Mm-hmm.
And is the liquid, is it clear? If I lean and look at the table, do I see is it look like is it a dark spot like blood or water?
It's
or...
not dark, it looks more like it certainly doesn't look red.
Okay.
Ain't that
I say-
the weird lady's room up there?
Kalendra will look over to the drips of water, look up, and then he looks up down at Dagmort. This time his eyes furrowed, anger and, if not hatred, brewing behind. And he says, I think it's time we become the witch hunters of this night.
We are armed for it.
I say, holding up my two-handed axe.
Gentlemen, just one moment, please. Gaspard is holding a bottle and uncorking it and taking a big swig of it. There is one thing, and I hesitate to tell you because, well, I swore to keep it a secret, and so I am breaking my honor here. But well, you have deduced a lot of it yourselves already, and I think circumstances they press me more to divulge it, because Elman has confided in me that the witch is his mother, and that the person upstairs in the other room is his mother's sister. So
Look
indeed,
aghast.
he
His
does
whole
know
damn
them.
family. His whole damn family's witches.
There is certainly a curse upon this family, but he also said that by... I must remember, he said by burying the witch outside, he put a ward on this house. A what? A ward? A what? And now, by disturbing the witch, the ward is broken, because they lived in peace here for 20 years.
What kind of peace does he live with when he locks his own aunt in a room by herself? And now there's water coming out of there. When we went in there, Dagmar, there was no water there, no cups, no chamber
no.
pots.
It was a
Not a bit.
precaution, he said, for the Green Moon. So,
He
I
said
don't know.
a lot of things. How do we know we can trust him?
yeah. Indeed. So, we best be prepared to face. Oh, this is a stronger wine.
Jasper, stop drinking so much.
This ain't the night for it.
Oh, I can't help it. I'm used to it, but I keep forgetting that these Imperials, they do not dilute their wine. So,
Calorian just like ruffles his hair and just like looks a bit, just not irritated at Gaspard per se, but he's just irritated in the whole situation, as it were. I have a darker ambition for this night. You will not like it, and neither do I. I've never thought so dark before. So I'm not sure what to do. I say we see what's going on in that room, where that water's coming from at least. We need to
Yes.
understand more.
Last time we went up there, that that woman, she came skittering over at us. Terrified me something fierce. I ain't afraid to admit it's a damn witch.
Well,
If and we open that door again, we need a plan. What do we do?
if that witch comes to you again, Dagmort, you use that axe. You swing it well.
I look from Calvin's Hill to Gaspard, a questioning look on in my face.
Gaspard is rummaging through the firewood to find a big piece of wood that he can use as a club.
You have a look
That's your witch.
at the
Sorry, go ahead.
firewood beside the fire, Gaspard. Curiously, the foot you had thrown on, still there and still recognizable.
It's in the fire or beside the fire?
It's at the edge of the fire. It was alight, but seemingly didn't burn particularly well. It rests there.
I'm afraid that the fire did not take care of the foot.
What? And I glance over and I see it.
Maybe we should just burn it the rest of the way. Can't be good, can it?
I'd say that we throw it outside and but perhaps take care of whatever is upstairs first.
This
Works
night
for
requires
me.
a spell singer, but yes, very well.
Can you see something outside? Because it would be unfortunate if whatever is out there returned.
I shall roll my eyes and just look outside the window.
I'll take a look out too.
Darkness. Sheer darkness. Some snow. Not much else.
You do not see the doggy?
No, if only the insides of this inn was as black and white as it is outside.
I tell y'all what, I wish we were in my character right now. This wouldn't be happening.
No, indeed not. Nor would it be if we were in my glade. But, and he, remembering bad memories, Calendral shakes his head and says, "We have a job to do, and although you may not want it to come to that, but there might be bloody murder at the end of it."
Sounds
It ain't
like
murder. It ain't murder if it's a witch.
True enough.
It's a damn
Let's go
monster.
witch hunting, and I shall take my short spear. Cue Ghostbusters theme.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we do the three people walking
Yeah,
like
three
badasses
people walking
lined up.
slow
Yeah.
motion.
Okay. You have a room to go to. You know where it is. The door is barred. You lift the bar. Takes little effort. Who peers inside first?
I think I'll actually hesitate this time, and I'll let one of the others do it, because last time genuinely spooked Dagmord.
So it's probably Gaspard, I think, because he's not been in the room.
Yeah, I think I would actually, usher Gaspard first, and since he's not really been in first, so he can get like first view. Of
Yeah,
what
he's the naive. Oh, yeah, go in the room. Yeah, sure.
You step inside.
It's just his auntie, he said so.
There is an empty chair up ahead. But to your right, in the corner of the room, lays on the ground a woman. Face down. Head to the side. Eyes open.
With his stick pointing in front of him, he approaches. Hello? Lady?
There is a gentle, rhythmic rock, side to side, and a stench. Gaspard. She appears to have pissed herself. There is a puddle.
At least we now know where the water comes from. Huh. Hello, lady? You idiots, this is just some old lady. She's passed out.
She's watching you.
If she's just some lady, she wouldn't be locked in here.
I just imagine like Gaspard's in the room and us two are just our heads are popping out again.
Yes.
Just watching.
From a distance.
Is it done yet?
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious.
Did you kill the witch yet?
Are you alright, madam?
She continues to gradually sway from left to right.
If she starts saying anything weird, you make sure you cover her mouth. Don't let her get no damn spells out.
Shut up, you fool.
Ah,
Hello? Very slowly, he's going to reach out with his hand, keeping the stick between her and him all the time, but to try and touch her shoulder.
You touch. The eyes flicker as you do, but she doesn't respond. She just continues gradually swaying left and right, as if a mad person, rocking gradually, doing the worm. Subtly, though.
You want to get up? There's a nice chair you can sit on. Hello? Nothing. Well, you fools, come on in. Let's search the room. She's just sitting there. I mean, let's see if we can get the blanket and at least put that on her.
I'm keeping my distance, I say as I walk in, and as I said, keep my distance.
Maybe close the door, eh? You do not want to let her get out.
I don't know about that. What if Helmet or Judith comes back and locks us in here? I don't think so.
Well, take the bar inside.
Fair enough.
I'll go ahead and I'll take the bar off the door, bring it into the room, and shut the door behind us if Cal comes in.
Okay.
Yes, I will come in.
Okay. Gaspard. Beside the chair is a small cat. Looks like a feral cat, but looks like it's been domesticated.
Hey, kitty.
Somewhat
Hello,
cowering
kitty.
in the shadows. It purrs and does the sort of brush against the leg motion. Love me. Worship me, human.
Nice kitty. Where have you been, eh? Much nicer than the big old mean doggy. Yes.
Careful
No.
with that thing. Don't witches got cats and critters?
Ah, no, all kinds of people have cats. Just because someone has a cat doesn't make her a witch, huh? I mean, look at her. She's just like a crazy old retarded person.
Maybe she's like that because she used one of them rituals or something that we read. Maybe she's possessing Hellman right now.
I did not think of that. Yeah, you are using your grey cells. Huh? That is good. So, but what should we do? You want to knock her out?
Well, I reckon if she were controlling somebody or doing some sort of foul magics, that'd do the trick. I say, looking to Calrentil, what say you, Elgie?
Ventral, lost in a trance, was looking at this woman almost with a mixture of disgust and curiosity, like looking upon a wounded animal, as it were. Something truly odd that it might have seen. Like it wasn't even looking at a human, just like a disgusting mutant, as it were. But upon after saying Elgie, he quickly snaps out of it. Sorry, what was that?
I was asking if we should give her a bit of a bop on the head, maybe render her unconscious. We're wondering if maybe she might be casting a spell, maybe using that possession thing we were reading about in that ritual. Maybe she's using Hellman or Judith or one of the children.
Well, I would have a say in it, of course, but the laws of family are stronger than most. This is Gaspard's somewhat relation. I suppose Gaspard shall have the final say.
Fair enough.
At that, Gaspard walks up to the lady and raises the club high overhead and wait a minute. What if she is not like possessing Elmon, but actually trying to ward him off, like good witch stuff? And we knock her out, and then the house catches on fire or something. I don't know.
One, if I was doing that, then she's doing a terrible job. And two, if the house set fire, nothing would make me happier.
Well, long as we're not in it when that happens.
Oh yes, of course, definitely. But we'll have some good warmth until morning cometh.
But did not the book say something about entering someone's dream?
Yes.
It
Yes,
did,
it's true.
but she is conscious. I mean, if and you wanted, you could, I suppose, enter her dream, but might need to knock her out for that.
I don't know.
I open the book and look back in it for a reminder for myself. I want to say that particular one, they could be awake. They just sense the presence.
Yes, it's a deja vu as such that may be
Okay.
inflicted. Should one be awake?
Yeah. Reading over it again, I'll look at Calrentil and say, and I'll read it aloud to them and just say, yeah. It says right here, you step in their dream. If the way her mind's looking, I reckon you might be able to do it. I mean, she does seem out of sorts. She'd just know you were doing it, possibly, which I don't see what harm that could cause. I mean, look at her.
So, two of us is going to do it.
Well, certainly not me. Us Dow ain't particularly skilled in any sort of Ungi priestly arts.
I have no affinity for magics. But you, Faye, your kin is natural affinity for the weirdings.
The weirdings. I raise my eyebrow. Very well. What is it that I should do?
Be right back, I say as I walk out of the room. I open the door, walk out, go down the hall to the master bedroom, fetch the candle, whatever I might need.
I'll assume you look at the page with the ritual and
gather the goodies.
Yeah, gather the goodies. Some chalk, a candle, not much else, curiously. Just a particular drawing to be done, candle in the centre, words to be said. The description, Dagmord, is that typically this is something to be done by priests of Moor. On the actual ritual description, there is at least some guidance and experience. Some individuals, and in certain places, and at certain days and certain times, seem to have more luck than others. Currently, the priests of Moor believe holidays to be a particularly beneficial time to do it if you're seeking, quote, success.
Would this accursed night constitute a holiday?
Yes.
Lovely. I will convey that to the others as I'm laying out all the items and preparing the ritual as best I can.
Okay. There is a diagram to draw a crooked shape in front of you. It's difficult at first to make out what it is, but you could be a raven in a particular position, perhaps, particular pose.
Okay. My stubby fingers are taking hold of the chalk as I lean down to the ground. I'm drawing.
No, you silly dwarven. Look, let me do it. At least I have some education in this arts. I can draw a bird. Your looks more like a turd instead of a bird.
It's a regal bird.
I never thought I'd roll
It's
art
a fecal bird.
in a session. Gaspard, can you please roll me some sort of artistic roll?
An artistic role, sure.
Sure, easy. It's a fairly crude, rudimentary chalk drawing.
Oh, well, it's a sculpture, but yeah.
That'll do. It's artist stuff. Yeah, you're able to sketch out the shape of a crow with 1 foot sort of raised up, wings spread.
Dowie would have drawn that better, but alright. That'll do, I suppose.
It would have at least have shorter wings and shorter legs if a die would draw it, and it would be more naive.
I think that would have been a lot better if one of our Lauren Lawn artists would have done it, but...
It would be completely, how you say, very, just,
It ain't got a beard.
Yes, Lord Lifer, we get that point. You don't like
they'll
our...
find out when they see it, uncultured and richer.
If it ain't got a beard on it, it's all wrong.
The drawing is done. The candle is there. There are only some words left to say.
So what am I meant to do, Dagmord?
What does it say what he needs to do in the book? Or do we
Recite
just
a certain
read them
verse. Yeah, basically read this aloud.
Yes, I guess. Does it indicate if the person reading it is the one who goes in, or?
Yes, and I would say, ideally for this one, you'd have a possession of the individual that you would place within this shape as well.
Okay.
So there's a puddle of piss. Yeah, or that.
Good kitty, don't move. Yeah. I guess we could do the puddle of piss. That's pretty Warhammer.
She also has like a doily on her head, and there may be other possessions in the room, unless you just want to scoop up some urine and put that in. I mean,
No, we'll take some like a piece of clothing or something.
yeah, a
else
scrap
like
of
that.
clothing.
Always a good thing, yeah.
There are assortments of someone lives in here. Well, this thing lives in here, so there are still signs of humanity, perhaps. You find a doily. There you go.
Okay. And I don't think that it wouldn't really be possible for me to tell someone how to say something without saying it myself, would it?
Let's just say you can say it in such a broken manner that Calendril
Okay.
can get the
Okay,
gist
cool.
and say it himself.
I do that
Virata.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Calendril, you are given the information to convey. It's a single sentence, and for an elf to remember, that's almost laughable. But you are free to recite it at will.
All right. Is it just the words in the Latin?
Indeed.
All right. Very well. Spiritus Sancte, fac meot spiritualiter, vigile et vigilate, in somnio meo in isio, nomine.
And to find out what happens, we should come back after a 5-minute break. Ladies and gentlemen, see you in 5. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are currently performing a ritual. Calentral has just recited a prayer of more. Having said the words, Calentral, you wait for something to happen.
I look boredly.
To your surprise, absolutely nothing happens.
Bloody dwarf, you gave me the wrong lines.
It's the right lines.
Absolutely
Gave me the...
nothing.
Maybe we need to bop her over the head. Gaspard?
Yeah.
You want to bop her over the head?
Are you sure?
Well, we're trying to enter her dreams. Maybe it's something to do with her being conscious.
How drunk is Gaspard right now? Because that's a few. Can we say safely that he's a pretty tipsy Frenchman?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I mean, that's 2 fails in a fairly short space of time.
Yep.
I think he's had like 4 bottles in the last 12 hours, so... I mean, he's probably acclimatized. Anyway, as you are, Gaspard, what are you doing?
You sure?
Well, we gotta enter the dreams, and maybe it ain't working 'cause she's conscious.
I will do it. He's looking a little bit eager to do it.
She's your family. It's your call.
If you say so. Boop.
A success. Her eyes were looking up at you while doing this. The whole time all of you have been talking, her eyes have been following you. And she watches the weapon be lifted up in the air. She doesn't flinch, doesn't react. Strikes you as peculiar, at least, as your stubby piece of wood meets with her temple. Her eyes remain open, looking at you.
Oh, did you?
Didn't hit her hard enough. Do it again. Damn Bretonians and their limp wrists.
Is it with a bonus, actually?
Sure, plus 40. I mean, she's laying still.
Yeah, he's really putting
I'd
it
say
back into it now.
The difficulty
Oh, no.
on the first one was you being tentative. Like, I'm not going to hit
Yeah.
her too hard. Okay, this is a mighty whack. And
Marlowe all over again. With the old lady.
Superhero punch.
it's not so much as the eyes are closed that maybe the bleeding around the eye is helping the eye to appear more shut, but she's probably out cold after that, right?
That was repetitive. Like, I'm just about to just repeat it. Just hitting him with an astounding success.
That's more like a Gaspard.
Oh, you have the unholy rage. So.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I'm going to
true.
go ahead and put you through a corruption roll for that.
Yep.
Just for
I'd just
your...
like to say, I would just like to say as well, just also detail. Nobody would have seen this. This is just really for role purposes.
So it doesn't count.
But
Sorry, that's well.
Calentral did
It's fine.
as he watched Gaspard hit her again and watched the fall. Calentral just had a slight smile. As he,
Slight orgasm.
well, out of curiosity
slight-
and elation. This probably even for him a bit surprising for himself, but for some reason he actually enjoyed watching that.
You dirty dark elf.
Yeah, but
Pops a lady boner.
He quickly shook his head like, "Whoa, what?"
Okay,
yes.
Gaspard. She's got to be out cold. Like, her eyes are puffy now. She's bleeding a bit. Not too much, right?
He raises the club again, just to make sure. What do you think now?
I think, I say as I look over to Calvin Till, that man of your nature doing that to family on account of saving all our hides means maybe we ought to trust you. I say as I look back from Calvin Till to Gaspard again.
Indeed. think you've done us a great honor here, Gaspard. You've shown us which side you're on.
Well, as you Bretonians would say without further ado,
I motion to Calrentil.
let's proceed.
All right, I shall say the words again. As for the sake of brevity, I'll recite them
Certainly.
unless you want me.
You recite them again. Perhaps a little more impatiently, perhaps not. And again you wait, looking at this human in front of you, and again disappointed as absolutely nothing happens.
Well, we tried. Truly tried.
We want to try any of the other rituals? Well, no, I think they require corpses, don't they?
Well, he could beat her to death. I don't know.
Oh, Gaspard, perhaps another time, but for now, our survival is at stake.
Yeah, it might be a bit much. Well, what do we do now?
In any case, she does not seem to be a threat anymore. Anything else? He's looking through the room if there's anything.
Yeah, I'd like to rifle through the room. Is there anything in here of relevance? We saw the cat. We saw her doilies or urine. Her.
Bit more urine. Couple of drawers, mostly empty. Clothes shredded for the most part. A few mice, partially eaten. Mostly the tails remain. A few birds. A few feathers remain.
I would just like to just add as well, is there like a... With my sixth sense, as it were, can I feel any premonition around or something like that? Do I detect something is off?
Do not feel right now that you are in any particular danger.
Right. Just checking, that's it.
You feel fairly safe. As safe as you have in the past few hours at least.
Now, I wasn't about to mention it, but pages 6 and 7 of this here ritual do mention that speech and more, and if y'all recall, someone has to answer questions. 3 of them they have no choice but to answer. However, if we do that on the living, it does say they might incur Moore's wrath.
Well, we do have the leg of that little girl.
But how do you? I mean, a leg can talk. I mean,
Maybe, well, we could always try it, and, I mean, going by the, I'm just guessing here, maybe going by that rules of that first ritual, the Moore's Rest, talking about whole remains and all that. I know it's a different ritual, but it seems to talk about remains being different from like a little bit of a person being different from a lot of a person, I guess you could
There's
say.
specific instruction, Dagmar, that ritual, as you're sort of flicking through the book, can be performed with the finger.
Okay, on the.
It's been performed with the nose once as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll point at a little like a little index note, a footnote on the page. Oh, it says here I can use even a finger or a nose or something. So
yes, but the girl, she is alive still.
I look to Gaspard coolly and I say,
is she?
But she is out there, and the foot is here. So, what is this word? This stupid religious mumbo jumbo. That is precisely why I left that nincompoop of an idiot country. But and he goes downstairs.
I'll follow him out and I'll pick up the bar on the way out and wait for Calrentil. And as soon as Calrentil passes, I'm gonna bar the door shut with the kooky lady inside.
Yeah,
Okay.
I shall pass. pass
You leave
by
her be?
and,
Yeah, and I'll head down with them.
Okay.
Of course, I'll bring the ritual materials.
The foot is there. Still. Not in the snow, discarded. But by the side of the fire. From the knee down, it's still a substantial piece of a friend, at least. Dagmord, a different shape of bird this time. The same crow in a different pose.
Oh, for this ritual. Okay. Yeah, this time I'm going to grumble, and before Gaspard can do anything about it, I'm going to go ahead and start drawing it myself, so I'm going to do that roll. What is the roll? Art?
I mean, you could just roll. Do you have art?
Yeah,
Good
it's the
lord, you do.
basics,
You roll an average.
Okay.
Everyone has basic art.
Okay, so you start. It's maybe a little shorter and a little more stubby, like a dwarven bird, but it's pretty good. Angles are right, proportions good.
Almost looks like it has a little beard to it, but it's in line with the diagram.
Yeah,
Or
it
not.
is indeed.
Gaspard is looking at it and he's astute observer would notice that he's sort of jealous looking at how well it is drawn.
Okay.
Craftsmanship is the best there is.
Sure, if you like the classical boring thing, realistic and such.
If it
I'm
ain't
more of
broke, don't fix it.
I'm more of the modern art. So.
Bah, modern breaks easy.
There's nothing modern in Bretonia. Don't jest yourself.
And as we're discussing this, I'm completing the rest of the ritual, setting everything up, and I'm going over with Calvin Till, using the broken explanation. I'll start with basically everything except for the first word and the incantation, and I'll give him the first word last and tell him to put it there at the front.
Okay.
Right. I shall do that. And once he's finished with the incantation, I shall recite the words.
If you could, please, Calentral. For the drama.
Yes, certainly. No, there we go. Is it for... Sorry, my bad. Is it speech of more we're doing?
Yes.
All right. This time you should say it with a bit more emphasis, like, come on, have a bit of heart. Angele dai, qui custos es mai, mi tibi commissum pictati superna, Howdy hac nocte, illumina custodi rege et gubana. Amen.
That's it.
You wait
Remember.
a moment.
We get 3 questions. Only 3.
Well, I suppose you shall be doing most of the talking.
A moment passes, Calentral. Just a moment. And you get that feeling that you have again wasted your time.
It's been a minute now.
But your eyes grow heavy. You cannot resist the urge to close them.
Closes his eyes.
Dagmord, Gaspard, you see Calentral's head nod forward. Calentral, you are surrounded by darkness. Nothing but blackness. Until you look around enough, there is a figure facing the other way. Someone in robes. Looks like a priest, perhaps. You may. You are in control of your faculties.
Just to go over things, sorry to put in immersion. Is it when if I'm the one in this ritual, I'm the one who asks the question?
You are on your own currently. As I would say that it wasn't entirely clear, but it is fairly clear now. You've seen stranger things, I assume.
Yeah.
You are surrounded by darkness and nothing else. There is grass underneath your feet, though. curiously. And in front of you, a hooded figure facing the other way.
I shall walk gingerly towards the creature, the figure, whoever it be.
As you approach, they raise a voice. "Who are you? And why are you here? Leave me be!" And turns around, but the moment you would see their face, your eyes open. I'm going to ask you to click the word wrath for me, please.
Wrath. Where's... Oh, there it is.
Down the bottom. Roll badly, dear sir. Okay. Leave here and do not come back. You get a very frightening feeling for a second as you wake, all of a sudden, eyes darting open.
Oh. Wait, Oh. Oh. Dagmod.
What?
Yes.
Didn't work, did it?
No, I'm not entirely sure. I rubbed my temples, and I did go somewhere. It was dark. There was grass on the ground, but other than that, everything was black. And then I saw someone.
Elisa?
No. A man in robes. I did not see his entire face, but he looked at me. He did not like my presence. He told me to leave.
It was more you saw.
The
More.
god?
I saw a god.
Don't be silly, Gaspard. Think gods go dancing around in front of Elgie willy-nilly?
Exactly. What? No. Well, no. See, I thought that I was going to meet the girl and ask her questions, but instead I find this man, and I didn't even get a chance to even say anything. He simply expelled me the moment I was there. Perhaps, I'm not sure who this was, and maybe it is more, as you say, Gaspard, but perhaps if you are now well versed in the Imperial deities more than I, or Dagmort, perhaps you should take part in the ritual.
He's an Umgi?
I believe so. He did not seem like one of my own kind.
Maybe he just hates Elgie and, yeah, probably hates Dowie too. Gaspard, sounds like this is up to you.
Yeah, but did it not say that it cannot be done on the living?
It can be done, but it may, says it, many have inferred More's wrath for this sin.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Maybe have another drink and give it another think.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
I say, patting him on the back and handing him a fresh bottle off the table.
Good job there's plenty of alcohol here. No shortage.
Do you not think it's taking them a long time to return? Maybe we should see what that gunshot was about.
Yeah, if you want to check through a window, be my guest, but we were instructed not to leave these premises.
To hell with their instructions.
Well, I must agree with the Bretonian here. Out of all the instructions that he's told us, we've begun to loosen up on those, admittedly.
You ain't wrong. What are your thoughts, Calrentil?
I'll be honest with you. It's one of these rare occasions which I simply do not know what to do. I want to get out of here and just start running east. You and Gaspard alongside, but we'd freeze to death. I'm pretty sure it's still a long time before dawn.
I am sick and tired of sitting in here.
Calentril, you've said something. Roll an average intelligence test, please.
Oh boy.
Would any of us notice what he said?
we'll see.
Okay.
What? What? What have I said?
I don't know. You tell me. Everything's fine. Unless you want to use your one reroll this session.
Nah.
No, everything's fine. As you were.
I say we just stay put. I mean, it can't be too long till sunup. Right?
Surely not.
Dagmord, make an average intelligence test.
Okay.
Yeah, sunup was 2 hours ago. At least.
And yeah, as I say that, I go, wait a minute. It was back before we ever even had that fight with Hellman. It's supposed to be about 3, maybe 4 hours till sunup. I reckon sun should have been up some time back. I know I'm new to all this surface stuff, but
Well,
even I know that much.
it is winter. Sun should not come up until about 7.
I walk over to the window and look out. Do I even see even like a tidbit of sunlight on the horizon or dawn?
Pitch black.
Boy, something is wrong.
Calentral looks really troubled. Very troubled. Since he is an outdoors person, he's now a bit troubled at this.
You hear a loud boom as Gaspard falls on the floor. Oh, I guess not. I thought, when you have a dream and you fall over, you wake up. So I thought maybe I fall over and see if we wake up. But
I walk over to Gaspard and I sigh, shake my head, and I lean down, not very much due to my height, and offer my hand to help him up.
thank you.
Help
Yeah.
me this.
But you are right. Usually, if I have how many bottles, then by this time I am. Well, I'm hungover, and
The night ain't ending. The
You're saying
rituals
that
ain't working.
time must be going slower here.
was that or something else? Look,
Could we stop
get me
altogether?
home. I just gently smack my forehead against the wall.
I think I will just get out of this place. I think this place is cursed and it is keeping us here.
Yes, I agree. Now that you've been
I
telling me the
agree.
time, Dagmort, let's take the fight to the witch.
Hellman told us Steel don't work on that thing. Now, question is, do we believe the sumbitch?
I don't believe a word that pathetic shaven ape would say.
Me neither. So, let's say we go out there.
Wait,
Walk
I'm just gonna get some coats and clothing.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we'll go
Dagmort,
ahead and-
did you not say that there were some more weapons here?
Yeah, Hydra, I think the
There
weapons I
were.
saw, all
2
of them were
pistols,
inside that room, and he had them
a
all. Didn't he?
rapier,
The rapier.
a rifle. There's no rifle behind the counter. One would assume that may have been the loud bang. There are no
Okay.
pistols. They were in the hand of Judith. There is no rapier. That was in the possession of Hellman.
And is the armor also gone?
No.
So it's there, okay.
Well, Calrentil or Gaspard, either y'all can suit up in armor if you want. If you think you can handle the weight. It's in the master bedroom.
The Bretonians are famous for their knights in armor. I'm sure Gaspard will feel right at home.
It has been a while since I wore something like that, but I can try. Maybe it fits.
Indeed. Well, I shall wait at the front door, and we'll be ready, and then we shall charge. Like the Glade Guard of Lauren Lawn.
Ah, how very glorious, like a true Bretonian knight.
And I'll take a piece of firewood and just kind of stick it in the fires to kind of light up the end like a torch or something. Just,
Okay. There's the there's a couple of burners in there.
Okay,
There's the
yeah.
one that you use to seal the flesh of a severed leg.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Then I'll take that just as a torch, so it will have some light.
Indeed. As
I'll
perhaps
try to don the armor.
the armor fits. We'll deal with the statistics at some point, but some chainmail and such, it's hefty, and there are a few leathers underneath, but it's certainly protection. There's even a witch hunter's hat.
With a fancy hat. Tries it on. Prefers his own hat.
Okay. The hat goes back on the shelf.
Do any one of you want a nice hat to keep your head warm?
Don't need any damn Umge design. I'll stick with my Dowie attire.
It'll just stop me in the wind as I put my hood up, as I go full ranger style.
Okay, gentlemen. You are armed to the teeth as much as one can be in Warhammer. That is to say, one of you has a decent weapon, the other has some armour, and one is an elf.
Bloody hell!
Badass music.
Yes. Cue that witch hunting music.
Okay.
Doom.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I assume you head for the front door.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Oh, and beware of the doggy.
Right. Remember that.
Okay. It's time to go.
And you depart. Where are you going? By the way.
Well, first of all, is it still absolutely horrifically freezing?
Oh, yes.
Right. Well,
Can I
then
have an endurance
shall-
roll from everyone, please?
Yeah.
Average for everyone.
I have a thing that. What does it say?
Dagmord will last twice as long before he has to take his test, so make your roll as normal average, but your result will just, let's say, you have an extra period of grace. Calentril, feeling particularly strong all of a sudden physically. Dagmord, even with a +2, that will end up bolstering up to a mightier number thanks to your constitution. And Gaspard, let's face it, it's still really cold. You probably... You could be fine for an hour or two. Easy. Gentlemen, you are outside. It is cold. It is wet.
I saw the witch in my periphery. This was already by the time that Helman... Ooh. The time that Helman had left, so the witch is somewhere around here stalking this place. Usually found in my peripheries. If we see it, we march together and attack it, all in one, like a mob.
Sounds reasonable.
And if you do not run away.
We shall see. We shall see.
So, are we going to the uprooted tree? Or are we just heading east to try to clear out? Or are we heading toward that gunshot?
I think whoever's trying to keep us in here doesn't want us to leave. Perhaps if we press eastwards, they may try and track us.
See, maybe they'll show themselves. We'll force their hand.
I hope so. Although, do not take my sole word for it. I just want to get out of here. Perhaps if you have a better idea and good reason for it.
If our previous experiences are anything to go by, then this witch has ways to make us go in the direction she wants anyway, so we will go in a circle, so it doesn't really matter which way we go. I say we just go that way.
Very well.
Fair enough.
Let's go east, and Calentra will begin heading, continuing the way that they were originally going, which would be east anyway.
Okay.
I'll follow Calentil.
I will be the voice of your inner conscience right now. Gaspard and Calentril, you would be more certain of this, that the chances of making it to another town, let's say assuming it's 6 hours, and that's being optimistic, the chances are slim, given the temperature. And that's assuming you have the right directions. But you press east. Down a long path.
I mean, at this point, I think another reason, as probably Gaspard and Calentral are probably at the helm, really, with just a little bit behind, with the, heavy artillery at there behind. You probably reason with Gaspard along the way, just saying that if we die, it'll be dying on our own terms, as it were. As it were, rather die trying to get somewhere than just be coddled in a house, being frightened to death.
There are
Ain't
those.
like we can wait. It ain't like we can wait till sunup neither. It's an eternal night or something.
Yes, indeed, and just ignore those whispers if they get to you. They're just tricks on your mind.
Do I hear whispers, Hydra?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Gaspard, you 2. Calentral, you 3. The whispers, 10 seconds after opening the door, are there. There is...
Flinching every now and again, hearing them.
Yeah. I have my hand, one of my hands kind of in my pocket for warmth, the other one also in my inner coat pockets where my short spear is, also for warmth, but also the moment something happens, I can draw it out quickly.
Sure. And you begin your journey. It is slow, it's tedious, it is laborious. The stone binds your feet almost to the ground. I will ask for a roll from each of you, please. Cool. Seeing as we are taking a stroll on Hexensnackt. Okay. Dagmord, Gaspard. Your little demons that we may have selected at the beginning of the session perhaps have a little bit more prevalence all of a sudden.
Okay.
I would like you to bear that in mind as you are faced with a path that is not unlike the path you arrived on.
It is as I told you.
It's the west.
That cursed being has led us in a bloody circle.
Is it the cursed being or is y'all?
Don't be silly.
You two dang surface dwellers. I'm the only one who don't know left from right and east from west. Maybe from a character, what have you. Y'all point me every which way. Why can't you look at the map and figure it out?
No, stop. Stop, both, please. Can you not see that this is what you want? This is what they want, us to fight each other? If we're going truly in a circle, as you say, Gaspard, then let us at least find where it all began, the tree. Maybe, well, we've got plenty of time before the dawn. Let's face this witch anyway, and see if it changes anything.
I am, for once, agreeing with you. I'd say we killed the beach.
Give me one moment. I need a moment alone just to catch my bearings, and I will kind of just go 3 paces away and just check: are we going in the right direction?
Make a navigation for me, please. Challenging.
Navigation.
There's a lot of trees and a lot of snow here, Calendral. It's no wonder you got lost in the first place.
I basically just close my eyes The woods is my natural home, yet the witch is blinding my senses. Yes, Gaspard. If there's one thing you can be angry at, is at this cursed witch and Hellman and all the others. I say we go back, as we did. Take the fight there, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't work. We'll fight. Give these monsters a fight.
I gotta ask y'all, is it like this every night up here?
I can assure you, Dankmort, it is not.
I picked a damn time to come out of the carrick.
You and all of us. Come, let us go. I'll take the lead. I'll take my short spear out this time, and we shall delve into the woods where I believe the
This is not far to the tree, for only over the horizon is the inn that you had just left. And from there it is but 20 yards, perhaps 50.
Does the direction, in our heads, does the direction of where the inn is now from where it was before, does it seem wrong to us all, basically?
Yes. No roll
Okay.
needed. Everything seems wrong. Deeply wrong. You should have stayed in a hole.
I hate this place.
I'm just musing myself at this point.
Calentril is getting a little bit worried, seeing the from what was once a positive outlook to a very negative and sour ending. He's basically, Calentril's getting a bit worried. He says, "Not long now. We find the stump. We find the witch. She was there before. Anytime you see it, we go together, our backs and shoulders, to each other, and we fight."
If and we can find some way to beat this thing, if we have pieces of it, we might be able to do that first ritual we saw.
Yes.
Calentril,
Yes, indeed.
as you are walking forward, you see a figure, an outline again. You have been haunted by such a figure. The silhouette in the darkness. You see it. Again.
I do not blink, so I can still see it. Is it in front of me?
You see the silhouette it is, over in the distance, between two trees.
Distance how far?
20 yards.
20 yards.
Halfway between you and the tree, let's say.
You too. I see it. There. In the darkness.
I look where he's pointing. Do we see it?
Make a perception for me, please. Calentril's was free, but you have to roll me a challenging perception.
Challenging perception.
And I will shout, "They're taking the hobbits to Isengard."
Dang.
Okay. You do see something. Looks a bit like a tree to you. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, could definitely be a witch.
I'm squinting at it and say,
Speak. Speak if you ain't hostile.
Gaspar is rushing to it.
Gaspard.
Be
No.
careful.
But I will keep looking at this witch as Gaspard runs over, and I shall basically follow behind Gaspard, but not running. I shall be kind of like walking steadily behind him.
yeah, I'll walk up. I'll walk a bit faster than Calrentil.
Yes.
I'll kind
Okay.
of like the middle position.
Yeah.
There is an expression you've seen on this charred figure several times, reaching out towards you in pain, and this time is no exception. Only, as you get closer, Gaspard, this is Judith.
Where did you come from?
She is still. You look to her torso. She is impaled on a turned tree, the root of which, or nay, the branch, completely through her abdomen and out the other side.
Nom de Dieu. Makes the sign of Shalia.
What is it?
it is the mother.
I quickly catch up and I see it, and I visibly recoil for just a second, just not expecting to see that, and being a woman as well.
Damn. Damn it. Do we really think Hellman's in on this at this point? His own wife.
I'm not sure. Perhaps his dead, ghostly mother did not approve of his marriage. But I'm sure I saw the witch. Surely you saw it as well.
I don't know. I before, but here I don't know.
Inspecting this, does it look like she's in a position where she naturally fell against it, or someone
Average
pushed
intuition
her?
for me, please.
Okay.
She clearly ran onto it. You can tell so by the tracks. You can tell so by the body language. One leg lunged in front of the other arm reaching forwards. It looks like it was a quick death at least.
I'm following the tracks with my eyes, and I see what happened, and I tell the others, and I explain it in that detail.
Calentral, in the meantime, had been looking at it with curiosity, the whole vigor of gore and death. Something piques his interest in looking at it, but then as Dagmort really shows the tracks, he looks at Gaspard and Dagmort. If that's where she ran from, then that's where we march to. And Calentral's not being completely brave. He is shaken. He is jittery, not just from the cold.
Carentil, keep in mind, if you turn tail during any of this, you might end up like her. She was running something scared.
Indeed. I hope not to again, but sometimes I'm not used to seeing these in the forest. And I would ask the same from all of you. We are not hard-born warriors. We're not your human legends or dwarf slayers, nor am I a thorn rider. So we must all be together.
If only we were.
Well, let us keep going to the tracks. Onwards, I shall take the front and watch the tracks. You keep a
Very
guard
well.
on my flanks.
Will do.
I'll take up the rear. Every now and again, I'll kind of do a little turn around as we walk, make sure nothing's behind us.
Sure. All appears to be clear. You continue and press forwards.
Yep.
To the tree. The
Gaspard
tree.
is on point, I guess, and he's angrily stomping in the snow and swatting away branches and with his stick, grumbling. I will get my hands on it.
The tree, the tree, the tree, the tree. You arrive. There is something on the floor. Another body. Perhaps one you were not expecting to see. Elman lays there on the ground, a hole and a portion of his head carved open, a gun in the opposite hand, blood spewing all over the snow.
I'm speechless for a moment, just staring at this with my mouth agape.
Calentral just looks at Gaspard, not in any way, he's just like seeing his reaction, because obviously it was like his family. Calentral's just a bit like he doesn't know what to say, really.
Gaspard is he looks unfazed. Takes it in for a moment, then bends downward, and I'm assuming the rapier is there.
Yes, and a pistol.
Yeah.
And a false leg.
He picks up the rapier, and because he's a practical man. Dagmar, perhaps you want the pistol? I know Yorkin have an affinity for such things.
I can't say I got any particular specialty in it, but I'd rather I hang on to it than I risk any witch getting hold of it. Not that I can picture that thing firing a pistol, but why risk it? I say, reaching down and scooping up the pistol and putting it in my sack.
We do not have time for proper rites for the dead now, so we must press on.
Indeed. To the tree. Let us go. And I shall walk on towards a tree.
2 yards further, you're at the tree, before Hellman had killed himself next to it.
Oh wow. He killed himself.
So it looks like he blew his head off, I guess.
Jeez.
The rifle.
That was the implication, and that much is, I would say, free. A hole in the left side of his head, a gun or a pistol in the right hand. But
I assumed as much, yeah.
And he was probably stood about 3 yards from the base of your destination.
He does look at the Calancho probably just has the 2 cards, the man and the woman. And he just throws him, doesn't throw him, he drops him on the ground. And he now just keeps his eyes and ears. And again, sorry to go back to this sixth sense, I'm going to really see if if I feel like something's about to happen.
I've been a-rollin', and you feel fine. Perhaps fine with the exception of the glimpse you caught of the cards you dropped. The woman having a hole within her torso and something, a spear, through it, and the man with half a head.
Do the rest of us do that?
Depends if you see, but as they fall to the ground, both face up, that is what is there.
Calancho will look at them, but actually at this point he doesn't make a comment. He's now fixed determination, no mourning for the dead, time for themselves to live through this night.
Well, they died and I didn't even pick any cards, so at least it ain't my fault, right?
Maybe they died because you did not pick any cards.
I don't know about that.
Keep your eyes and ears open and alert. She could be watching us now.
I kind of jump a little bit to attention and spin around. I'm looking over the horizon in the forest.
Yeah, I'm looking out too.
Who looks in which direction?
Oh, I will look east.
I'll look west toward the inn, I think, or was it southwest? I guess toward the inn.
Okay, well, toward the inn, let's just say.
Whatever direction,
and Calentril away from the inn. Gaspard?
Yeah, to the other side.
Sure. Bagmore. There she is. Down the path. Arms up in the air, only almost staggering in posture.
She being the witch.
May we?
Y'all, I say, pointing with my axe in a shaky hand. We got some trouble.
I heft out my spear. I just want to make this clear, as my breaths are heaving. You're the worst companions I've ever had to guide.
You're the worst guide I've had, I say as I grip my weapon, and I'm going to charge. And unless I see it, unless I get some kind of last minute, vision of it not being her or something, I'm going in for the attack.
I will say on the way, with a flicker of lightning, as has happened much before, it is gone.
I run a few more steps, and before I stop completely, I start just spinning around quickly, gripping my axe tightly on my gloved hands. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Y'all got eyes on her?
Nay, not
She
gone.
did this last time.
Toward the inn.
Oh,
This last time.
She's in the same position? Or
There she is, further away now, toward the inn.
I squint. I squint.
Hold on. She's over there. Bit further off, y'all.
Wait.
And I start to run, but hearing Carantil say, "Wait," I pause for a second, glance back at him over my shoulder.
What?
She's luring you. Can't you see? I saw her too.
You... Why would she be luring us?
I don't know. Pick us off one by one. We stay together. She comes to us.
Right.
And if we wait any longer, then of course we shall give. Now, Dagmort.
Hold on. Do you think she's trying to lure us away from something?
Well, away from each other.
Well,
Surely.
no. I mean, I guess her son. You said, right, Gaspardi? He told you that that's his mother, and I guess he buried her out here. Whatever I destroyed earlier, it turned to dust. But do normal remains turn to dust? Was that really her remains, or maybe she's still buried out here somewhere?
That is using your graces. Let's have a look.
Maybe check that hole the tree was in. Maybe we dig a bit deeper.
Yes, indeed.
And where are the children?
My heart kind of visibly sinks in my face at that question.
Oh shit, we ran away and didn't bother looking for the children. Fuck, you're gonna take an extra corruption roll for that at the end.
No. I'm assuming the children are in on it, so...
That's fair. They're probably witches
It's
too.
more like, aren't they stalking us and trying to kill us? Kind of thing.
Oh, I see. May we. One should do as a Bretonian does, and that is flee. At the roots of the tree, nothing. Empty.
And just because I'm a stubborn dwarf, I'm gonna just jump in and start digging. Just try to go down like an
You
extra
dig.
6 inches. To a
Roll
foot.
me athletics, average.
Okay.
Or strength or dex, however you want to dig.
Okay.
I'll take anything.
Yeah, go with Dex.
I'll do a dance.
I mean, now's the time.
Yep.
That's an ample dig. You're already standing in the portion where you had excavated a little girl, and you dig down a bit deeper. Nothing. Dirt, roots.
Nothing, y'all. She ain't here. What do we think?
The children are dead and we are still alive. That is all that matters here. Let us be on our wits and guard.
Calentral, average intelligence test for me, please. Apologies for the interruption.
No problem. Average intelligence.
Yes. Everything is fine,
The what, sorry?
as you are. Everything is fine.
Alright. I'll just keep looking out, hearing the whispers, shaking my head. Just looking warily about.
Whispers and voices. Gentlemen?
Just had a thought. Maybe we should, Hellman's got all them answers, all them damn secrets. Maybe we try that ritual again with him. Drag his body back inside.
Yes. Yes.
As soon as Carantil says yes, I run over the body. I grab the fake leg and the legit leg, and I start dragging them through the
Sure.
snow. Very little respect for the body.
Okay, and
I did say that.
while here, can we please select a cool test, please, for the corrupting influence, because you are still stood outside on Hexensnackt. We'll...
That is a no.
That is a no.
And do I reroll that? Sure.
Was it challenging?
Yes.
Okay. So
Condition number 2 for Calentral.
No, still no.
And condition number 1 for Gaspard. Your conditions at the beginning of this session stay with you now. They are part of you. And we'll lower your corruption at the end of the session when we do a boring admin. For now, we have prayers to say as you drag Hellman's corpse by the leg. Dagmort, I assume.
Yes, I am taking him by both legs, just kind of running toward the end.
Okay.
I'm helping in this one.
Okay. You return.
Oh, just from my cool test, can you just run that over by me again so I got another corruption point? To what I said?
We'll do the admin at the end, but effectively that condition we rolled at the start is now a permanent feature.
Oh, wow.
You have one more condition to go before you are officially batshit crazy.
Okay.
You are... I would perhaps share this as GM to player, not too far from losing it. Just a few more things like that, and I would say if you spend much more time outside, you will lose yourself.
Okay.
Psychologically speaking. Gentlemen.
When we approached the body of the woman, Judith...
Yes.
Could I, when we passed by, because we would have...
Yeah.
Did she have the book of witches with her?
She did not.
Damn it. Well, that's it.
She had a satchel, but as you look, it contains basic healing supplies. A quick last-minute provision, you assume, as she tries to save her child. Perhaps.
Yeah.
One corpse returns with you. Gentlemen, you're inside. The voices gradually stop.
I never thought I'd be glad to be back here.
This cursed place.
I drop the legs on the ground, start dusting snow off of my outfit.
So, we got a ritual to perform. Before we do it, I reckon we need to figure out what 3 questions.
Well, what the fuck is going on, and how do we fix it, and
How do we defeat the witch? That's
Yeah.
the one.
and
I think how do we defeat the witch is the one, and maybe say and don't say you don't.
and how do we stay alive while doing it?
Yeah, how can we stay alive still? And maybe ask about this. The night not in, and ask him. Don't ask him why it's happening. Ask him how we stop the night never ending or whatever. Because I don't know, we can't escape.
I think a better word would be how can we defeat the witch? Because if we how do we and there's something impossible, we won't be able to do it. But how can we will be probably the better question. The second part, yes, I've got it in mind as well. Third question.
Yeah, good one.
Pondering on that.
Well,
Where
whilst-
are the children?
well, the children, that might be a good one.
Yeah, if he knew, I mean, wouldn't he have saved him?
Well, yeah, apparently he failed.
True.
Hydra, on the wording on that
Yep.
ritual, I think it's only stuff that they know, right?
Yeah, they will only have access to what they knew at the point of their death, and the information they give, though compelled by more, can be as vague as they like or specific as they like. There can be as little or more. It seems to be entirely down to the demeanour of the spirit that you raise.
Oh, that's just lovely.
I will say, probably Calential will say a third one, and how to get rid of that damned fortune teller. He's a progenitor of a lot of this trouble. I think that's our
Could you
third.
imagine if someone else comes by here and comes across him? Hate to have this happen to them too.
Well, I hope it's a warrior priest or
Yeah.
something or similar.
I do not know what about you, but if we get through this, we survive, and we leave here, I am planning on burning this entire place down.
As soon as the sun's up, maybe.
Agreed.
Vraiment.
Well, anyway, let's get the ritual up. I believe, Gaspard, you're the more eloquent artist here. If you want to make the ritual drawings, I shall wait and recite the lines. This time, I will not disappoint in my recital.
Let me take a look at it. What is the image?
We should still have it on the floor, shouldn't we? Like, did doing the ritual
yeah,
before does
so
it
we
mess
could-
with it, or can we just reuse it?
It's the same thing?
Indeed.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing, yeah.
Indeed. Same.
Yeah, we should use the same one.
The words only need to be spoken and the candle lit.
Yeah.
Right. So Calential will say it again, this time more like an orator, as it were, because Calential's feeling a little bit more... He's now more outspoken, as it were. Definitely developed since he's come back, and really less given a damn, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
So you recite the words. If you wish me to say them, I can.
One more time.
All right. Angele Dei, qui costos esme, mitibi commission pictati superna, hodi hac nocte illumina, custodi rege et guberna. Amen.
You pause, this time knowing to wait. Patience, perhaps, to those who wait. It is a moment or few before his hand begins to twitch. Eventually his fist is formed. The head writhes slightly, the eyes open, looking up at you. Portions of his brain eking out from his new orifice.
Do all of us see this?
Yes.
Oh my word!
Yeah,
Nobody ask any questions, except you, Calential.
Calential will look down hatefully at the corpse, and then say, "Where are the children?" Oh, well, that wasn't a question, was it? My bad.
Can.
I can't retcon that.
It's
Sorry,
okay. I will
can't-
allow you this in this very stressful time.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry. He said, "How can we defeat the witch?"
To defeat a witch, you must find the witch. And just cut her to fucking pieces.
How can we find this witch? How do we capture her?
Witch hunters do not capture witches. We kill them. All that is needed is within my book.
Where is your book?
Where I fucking left it upstairs.
You fucking idiot! You're holding it.
I kick the body 3 times, and with
Well done, Carentil. You did all right with the ritual too.
Let's find the book.
Gaspar does a
Begin-
slow clap.
Enough. Let's find the book. Let's see what it says about the witches. Absolute waste of time.
I will. I'll go ahead and I'll lead the way up the stairs, axe in hand, because I am not feeling comfortable.
You go upstairs. And on the bookshelf is the Book of Witches.
I will pluck the book from the shelf, and I will open it. Do I do a roll?
No, it's a book.
Oh,
It's fairly
okay.
easy to open.
Okay. I'll open it and
But
take a gander. Mm-hmm.
it's probably about 800 pages.
Oh dear.
It's handwritten. By him, you would assume, given that it's his signature and initials on the first page. It's his life's work.
I'm going to be very disrespectful and flip to the last page and see if he's written anything of import.
The last page is a summary of his retirement. As he wishes to let go of his career and spend the rest of his days with his family, away from witches, far from evil, somewhere peaceful and quiet, where they can be left alone.
What a comedian.
Okay, and it doesn't mention anything about the specific members of his family on that page?
Not on that page.
Okay, yeah, I'll flip a few pages, maybe like a dozen pages back toward the front from the back. I'm just kind of flipping through, just skimming, looking for anything about his mother or his aunt.
Yeah, you can have a good rummage through looking for that, and true enough, eventually there is a small memo. It's perhaps ambiguous, but he does mention his mother, and the tale is consistent, Gaspard, with what you were told, that the fortune teller had appeared to Hellman within a dream and offered him a choice of cards. He had selected a card, and when he had gone to investigate the matter, to look for this said child, he found his own mother had been eating them. However, the child lived. He severed the arm and has not seen the child since. But he muses that it was curious, at the very least, that out of the various children that his mother had seemingly ate, having unravelled matters afterwards, that the card he had selected was the child that would be safe. Or saved.
And I'll convey that to my colleagues. And does the book say anything about the tale of the fortune teller appearing each year or anything? Is that in the book anywhere that I would have seen?
You can have a rummage.
Yeah, I'm just looking for info on the fortune teller because I know Calentil has a murder boner for that guy.
Yeah. There is a story. A priest of Moor who was bitten by a witch, driven mad, but seemingly would haunt Hellman as such. He writes it in a language that implies that, yes, he was haunted, but he perhaps did not mind it.
I'll pass along the others, but I'll sound surprised because Gaspard did not convey to me that he was dead.
It was Hellman that basically killed him and put him out of his misery at some point. Hellman had never realised that he was dead. It is I'll just continue blabbering for a moment, but it is a trick of priests of Moor that they can appear in the dreams of others, and eventually it came to it. He saw the madness in this man's eye and his inner instincts as a former witch hunter. He felt this person should be laid to rest, and, well, he just shot him, as witch hunters do. But the man continued to visit him, instead of frequently, now just once a year, on Hexensnackt.
We picked the wrong damn night to come here, y'all. I suppose y'all already knew that.
Yes.
Any news on the witch? How to defeat?
Right. Let me check.
And I'm gonna look for the word witch, keeping the word hunter not in there, just looking for just mentions of just
I
the
would
word
say
witch.
you have probably 500 tales of a witch he found and how it was killed, and each seemingly different. There is lots of stories about witches.
But we gotta find the witch.
Y'all, there's like hundreds of these damn things. I need to narrow what we're looking for here.
What about the ones that say we have to find the witch?
I figure it's the same for all of them, but I'll check.
I start flipping through the pages about location of witches or finding witches.
May I remind you, on the desk is a foot that is watching you. Gaspard. You in particular, sir. For whatever reason, find yourself drawn to it. For a corruption point loss, I'll let you pick it up.
Yes.
Okay. You go over to the foot. You pick it up. You feel slightly more at peace for a moment. Some of this newfound frustration perhaps temporarily soothed, even if just momentarily. And pondering.
What were those words?
What are you babbling about? We're trying to read over here.
Yes. Maybe we should try again, but with the foot. Ask where the witch is, or maybe the dream thing. If the girl is still awake, alive, I mean.
Well, I'm open to just about anything at this point.
Agreed.
Do we notice him holding the foot?
Yes.
I do like a little double take and say,
Gaspar, put that damn thing down. You don't know what it's gonna do to you.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Put it, just put it down for a second. My goodness. So are we wanting to do the ritual that we did on the old woman then upstairs? I can't imagine you'd enter the dreams of a damn foot.
I'm not sure I'll try anything at this moment. Look outside, it's still dark.
I will do it. I will do the ritual.
Be my guest then.
I say this time I'll just push the chalk over to him, having already proven myself and my artistic skills.
Shall we do the one with the dream or the one with the speech?
Speech makes more sense to me. What do you think, Carentil?
Yeah, but it did not work before, so maybe she's still alive, and then the dream would be maybe, I don't know.
How could she possibly be alive? Could a child survive in the cold that long?
We don't know where she is, but it says here, didn't it say that if the person is awake, they can speak to you?
I think so.
Upon clarification, stepping into someone's dream, you read on Dagmord for that particular ritual. For those that are gifted by more, those that are practiced, they can sometimes exchange words with the individual. For the initiate priest, most of the time it is simply enough to be able to share the dream with someone, to be able to experience what they are experiencing, and if you are lucky, they will get a sense of you. Perhaps a couple of words. But it varies.
Okay, and since I read it, obviously I'll convey that to them to help clarify.
I see.
Yeah. I guess you take the damn foot and do all the rituals, right? Screw it. What we got to lose?
Yeah.
We're all gonna die here either way.
Okay, vraiment. But since we are here and the drawing is already made, we should do that one first. He puts the foot down. He puts his foot down.
Yeah. I've had enough. Look it.
And what were the words?
I go and I go over the words with him again on what that particular incantation is.
Gaspard, for this particular moment, I will ask for your words as you attempt to enter the dream of a foot.
And Gaspard raises his hands, closes his eyes. Angele Dei qui custos et me tibi commissum pietate superna, Howdy hac nocte illuminia, custodi rege et juberna. Amen.
Vroom. Your eyes close. Darkness around you. Nothing else. You feel wearied, Gaspard. Can you roll me an endurance test?
Yes, I can.
Your arms and legs are heavy. You feel a malaise, a feverish malaise.
Ooh,
Like you've had the worst bout of rat fever that you've ever had. You're in bed as you wake. The room looks familiar as the master bedroom. You look down. You have one leg. It is very, very dark in this room. And you get the impression that you are here sharing this with her, let's say. In front of you at the door, with the door ajar, your cousin. That small, innocent boy, creaking the door open. You have your faculties, so you can react if you choose to say anything. I can voice it as Fleur if you wish.
Hello?
Hello?
He turns around looking surprised.
Oh, I didn't know you were awake. Look, I did as I'm told.
Holds his hand up in the air. You see a white powder crumbling from his hand. The door at this point slightly ajar.
Look,
Who told you to do that?
oh, it was the lady.
He turns around and, as if sort of startled by something through the door,
Oh. Mummy. And in a split second, as if he weighed an ounce, he is flung through the door into the darkness, disappearing from your sight, and he is gone. There's not even a scream. Not a shout, not a cry.
Oh. Can I stand up?
You can try. Can I have either endurance or athletics, but difficult? You are quite sure that you are running a fever. You also only have one leg for the first time.
Endurance or athletics?
Yeah,
Then it will
depending on your approach.
be this. No.
You fall to the floor. Seemingly too difficult to hop, your one leg buckling from underneath you. A searing pain as your new scar is perhaps torn open on your stub. And there is the darkness in front of you.
Roll towards it.
You crawl towards it. As you do, you feel a pain in your back, as if someone had just stood on you. Perhaps two people. Two quick pressures. Roll me a endurance check, please. Okay. It winds you, causing you to cough. Takes a few moments to gather your breath before you're able to continue crawling toward the door. You can hear a faint argument to your left. There's a little bit of light coming from that room. Small. To your right in the corridor, darkness. Darkness, though, that seems to be growing slightly.
Go towards the light.
You go towards the light. The darkness follows. You do not see anything, but you feel it. There is something behind you. You know it. You're being chased, followed. Whatever the words are.
Haunted.
Haunted, indeed. You head towards the light. Inside the room, figures. Vague figures. One more prominent than the others, a dwarf. You see him wrestling on top of a man. It looks like your uncle.
I grab his leg.
You grab his leg. Can you make me an agility, athletics roll, please? Or strength, even.
Sure. It's the same. So.
Okay. So all the time you have been crawling towards, you have been crying for help, knowing that something is following you. None of these figures pay you any attention. You desperately plead with them, tugging gently where you can at the clothing of whoever you can, but the dwarf seeming perhaps slightly more visible to you than the others seems like the most appropriate to try and communicate with, and you beg and plead as to why no one is listening, why no one will answer your cries for help. And you grab the dwarf, but as you do, something grabs your ankle. And that is where we're going to end today's session.
You are a cruel man.
Yeah. You are a manipulating
And you're an elf.
and perhaps the best GM ever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty something. So I
Yeah.
didn't think we'd need another one, but we do. because you've still got a ways to go.
I think we tried a lot of options here.
You
I think we
did.
tried a lot.
You learned a lot.
Yeah.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
You're really getting there. You've got a couple of books. You've got some trippy shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got.
Could have gone faster, but I don't know.
I think that we didn't know. We're playing it as it was. We don't know these things. We're playing as people who are never
exactly.
been thrown into the situation. So I think it's perfect,
Yeah.
really. But now we're getting more into it. Now we're actually like thinking, okay, now that we've realised that we might actually be trapped here forever, like an eternal nightfall. Now the pressure's high.
Yes. There are a few elements of today that were kind of that moment before let's say a confrontation where you realise that it's inevitable, it's futile, you have no way out, you are stuck, you're committed.
We knew that already, of course, or the players knew that already, of course.
Indeed, but now for the characters it is even more apparent, and how you unravel these mysteries is amusing me, I will say, because I didn't necessarily have a plan as to what order you would do things, or what you would do when, or who you would talk to, what cards you would pick or not pick. It ain't my fault, I'm just a big old fat old dwarf. Howdy, howdy. Well.
Well, yeah, it was. I thought it was fantastic. I'm excited to play more of a Druki next session.
Yes, I will say next session will undoubtedly be a shorter one. We're probably looking at an hour and a half. What we'll do is we'll do an hour and a half, and we'll do like a little bit of an after party afterwards. So we'll just have a chat afterwards. Maybe a little Q&A thing. They can ask you questions about your characters, and
we'll just we'll have an after party, like a nice little mini one shot in Arabic.
Just a nice happy one.
Yeah, nice happy one. Just just shisha in Arabic.
Yeah.
Just vibing.
How does Dagmar feel right now, by the way?
Well,
obviously he doesn't know, but
yeah, when he finds that out, that's gonna really be some haunting shit for him. But right now, though, he's just a little bit. I guess before he felt a little bit hopeless. Now he's just kind of determined. It's like we're probably gonna die. Let's do whatever. These rituals are a little weird, but screw it. What other choice do we got? We either sit here and wait for that thing to get us, or we try everything we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with Clantrell, we begin to see a bit more of his internal thoughts, I suppose, in this one, really.
Yeah.
And began to see the breaking of what was once a noble wood elf into something debased and degenerate. Slowly, we're getting there. With the
we're getting there. Yeah, he's really not.
Licking his lips.
Yeah, he's really not far from being batshit crazy.
Oh yeah.
And he's
he actually enjoyed watching the woman being beaten at that.
He's on 4 out of 6 corruption, and when he reaches 6 out of 6, he will basically be kind of completely unhinged beyond the point of... So Calendril is really on the point of re-rolling a new character in a meta campaign. Obviously, we won't need to go that far, because we can just, go batshit crazy. And... yeah.
I'll just start slitting throats.
Well,
but they're
lost to the Dark Gods in any case.
Indeed.
Yes, I will be heading all the way to Nagaroth.
And also that Gaspard clubbing his relative's aunt in the head.
Oof.
That really did a lot to earn him some trust and respect from Dagmar.
I see.
Yeah.
A bit of old lady
old
clubbing.
lady over the head. That's how you get trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I think also seeing it, I like the part when he was showing his rage, in the moment. Fantastic. I thought it was fantastic.
I like that.
It was great.
I liked all of it. You guys did great. I know today was somewhat more was almost slightly more chilled in a way, pace-wise perhaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't want to rush you towards conclusions, but it is fun watching you find them out on your own. And I have no idea which path you'll take to do it. You could have dragged the lady's body back here and asked her questions. You could have done all sorts of different prayers on different things. And I like the prayers. I think they're cool.
I love them. Yeah.
You did good. So we'll be back next Monday for probably what will be an hour long, give or take. And we'll see if by the end of it there is still a collateral. And we'll see in what state Gaspard and Dagmord are. But well done. And for the viewers, much appreciated you watching. For a start. For a second, please feel free to leave comments down below. I do read all of them. I take on board all feedback, especially from religious deities, and I will see you next time. Good a bit.